What is going on, guys? It is Big Mike here. We are back today with another Slow Bros podcast. And I'm here with our special guest. We have the Twitch streamer, YouTube content creator, man himself, Yoma97. How is it going, Yoma?
Yo, I'm doing good. Your boy is here and I'm ready to talk.
So why don't you tell everybody watching the podcast today? Because I know we have a lot of zombies viewers here, high round viewers. They don't necessarily watch the Easter egg speedruns you did or the content you do now. So who the fuck are you, Yoma? And why are you
All
here?
right, to begin, my name is Yoma. I know Mike basically because he came in my streams when I was doing Black Ops 2 Origins. For the longest time, I had the world record, and I started streaming with that. And then RNG started happening, and then we just got rid of that. But now I'm a variety streamer, and I thought about going back to zombies, so that's not all out, but we'll get into that later.
Really? Because
Yeah, I've been thinking about it.
someone tweeted on Twitter that they were never coming back to zombies and to stop asking about it.
Yeah, yeah, we'll get into that later.
All right, Yoma. So whenever I used to come into your streams and you were doing Black Ops 2 Origins Easter egg speedruns, and people said that something about you being a zombie streamer, you would always say that you weren't a zombie streamer. You said that you were a variety streamer, even though every single day I saw you streaming one map, doing one thing. So before I met you, before a lot of people knew you, what games did you play? How did you run your stream? How did everything go then?
Yeah, so basically, I started in 2017, right? No camera, played Overwatch, and it's funny because I got my first following by playing Origins back in 2017 with no camera. I went from like 5 viewers to 20, and then I got a camera, and then I stopped zombies and played PUBG. That's when PUBG just came out, killed my chat, killed my channel, two people in there. And from that point on, the reason why I talked about, being a zombie streamer versus being variety is because I've been variety longer than I've been a zombie streamer.
Hmm.
That's the thing. From 2017, 2018, well, 2018 is when I got the world record for that. And I did that only for since like March to May. So there was like a period. But then before that and after that was all variety, right? So at
Okay.
that point, it's like, oh yeah, I can play any game that I want. I still have an active chat, which is funny because I would only have like 8 to 10 viewers,
Hmm.
but just like now, I have a lot of people that talked, and that's how it was back then. So that's why I never. That's why it's easier just to be like, okay, I have more people, but like the same chatting atmosphere is still happening. But that's why I always brought that up. And another reason why is because I only stream zombies to get partnered, which your boy did it. We did it easy.
Honestly, so when you first started streaming Origins, did you have any idea how much success you're gonna get from it and that you would have a chance for a partner one day?
So whenever I first did stream, because so this was only I only from this like when I first started streaming, I went over to zombies. And it was a week from that
Hmm.
that I started getting viewers, right? So like I only had a week where I had nobody in my chat, and from that point on, I've always had somebody in my chat,
Hmm.
which sounds very like I'm bragging, but it's like I don't know. Even back then, like you have to be entertaining somewhat. You always have somebody if you're just like doing something right, right? There's
Yeah.
always somebody there, but I kinda did, right? But it was luck because 2020 is when, the pandemic happened. So like, an influx of people, Twitch had the highest records of, streamers, like unique streamers and unique viewers because, everybody's home. Everybody's
Hmm.
like, okay, what the fuck do I do? All this shit. And, it just so happened that they announced Black Ops Cold War while I was playing Black Ops 2, which is, the most I want to say the most opinionated in the sense of like everybody agrees that like that was like the last good one or more of like everybody agrees like they like it, right?
Hmm.
Like that's just
Yeah.
how it is. Like obviously people are not gonna like it when you find it, but like the majority of people are like, yeah, Black Ops 2. They think like, oh my god, 2012, best time.
Hmm.
And whenever I went back to Black Ops 2, the first day I had some old people come back because it's funny because I was doing Super Mario 64 speed runs, and then the same stream was like, okay, fuck this, I'm not learning shit. And I went straight into Black Ops 2.
Hmm.
Some people came back, and then the next like week, I went from like 10 viewers to 20, right?
Mhm.
and I'm just speed running. I already had the world record. I had the world record for 2 years by that point,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Okay, well, this is weird." And then the announcement came out, and then more people started showing up, and I started getting way more followers. I was like,
Mhm.
"This is weird." I've never had this before. Like, I've always like, peaks. I've only had like, 20, 25 peaks, like, playing Dead by Daylight,
Mhm.
Overwatch, like all this just random games, right? And now I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to average that. And now you're getting different peaks. I'm like, this is weird. And then more people are coming in, following, subscribing, like, yeah, something's going on. And then it just, came out of nowhere, like the influx of just people. Because the biggest thing that I had to say was that there was no competition. That's where Twitch really goes down. I'm a big, big analytical and statistical type of person.
Mhm.
I look at everything about that. And I went more into it and I was like, Black Ops 2 is very followed on Twitch. Uh, and there is a secret. It's not really a secret, but something that Twitch doesn't tell you or a lot of streamers don't know is that there are certain games that when you sign up for a new account on Twitch, they will ask you what game category that you want to watch. You know what I'm talking
Yes.
about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And, everybody knows Call of Duty, right? And this is
Yeah.
where I got lucky. Everybody knows Call of Duty, and what is the one game that everybody knows? But I hinted it right before here.
Black
What
Ops
was
2.
Black Ops 2? And then what happens is Twitch is it's not even an algorithm, but the way they like just straight up throw people is that when they sign up for the category, they will start recommending my channel just because I'm on top of it, right? I don't have to have, 100 viewers. I can just have 20, be at
Mhm.
the top of the category. And then it's like your stream is being promoted to them. And not only that, Twitch used to do this thing where I don't know if they still do it. When you go and sign up for a category, they will immediately follow the channel that's the highest on there.
Mhm.
So that's why when I talk about, having followers, the follower count doesn't matter, right? It's
Yeah.
more of the people that follow and still watch. Obviously, if they're lurkers, you can't tell, but like, if somebody comes in and follows and starts chatting, that's a good sign of like, okay, you can, invest in them, pull them in, and then, you build that off that. But then if it's like, if you're getting like 5 followers like every minute, it's like, you know, they don't talk. That's just the system, right? They're probably not going to
Mhm.
watch you after that point because I stopped playing zombies or this that, and I don't like speed runs or anything like that. They went multiplayer, but that's how it worked, and that's why people when they stream zombies, especially like Cold War, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, they get an influx of followers, but it never translate to like your viewership. It's like
Yeah.
every one follower. I mean, every it's like if you get 10 followers an hour, one of those followers will probably watch you, right? That's basically like there's like a conversion, but then it can
Mhm.
be even worse than that, where it's like every 2 hours there'll be like maybe one follower that will watch you versus like
Yeah.
because if I have 6,000 followers, where the fuck are they? Like,
Yeah.
where is this shit? What happened, right? That's just how it works, and yeah,
Yeah, and I think it depends on the game you're playing also. There's the people that are going to follow and just lurk, and most likely those lurkers are probably only going to watch zombies, so they're probably not going to watch your other games. But then there's the
yeah,
people that chat, and these people that chat could either be here for the interaction with you in general because they like talking to you, or they could be there just to talk about zombie stuff specifically. And I think you can see that. You generally can tell if somebody's there primarily for zombies or
oh
primarily
yeah,
for the community aspect. So I would say with zombies viewers, maybe like 10%, 10 to 20% of chatters are going to actually come back when you stream something else. It's actually insane. I think with zombies, it's probably one of the worst because if I was streaming Fortnite or I don't know, Fortnite might be an exception, but if I was streaming another game, I would assume that people would come watch if I played zombies, but I don't think it works the same way if you flip it. Zombies viewers are fucking stubborn.
yep,
Even I've said this in other podcasts, even between games and maps. Like somebody that watches Origins BO2 Easter egg speedruns isn't necessarily going to watch Mob of the Dead BO2 Easter egg speedruns or
yep.
watch Origins BO3. Like it's kind of crazy how separated the community is, you know. People only watch what they like and half the time they don't give a fuck about the streamer and they're just there primarily for the gameplay.
And that's where I really went into the aspect of whenever I first started doing and getting like notoriety in sense
Mhm.
of or like getting noticed. I was basically like a speedrunner in Origins, and then
Mhm.
like the whole like get sub 50 hype started happening,
Yeah.
and then I started noticing that like the numbers started going up more and more, and then I went down this like whole thought process. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go down the entertainment aspect
Mhm.
because there's a lot of people coming in. There was like Mikey, Blade, and Tamale, like all these other people, a lot of other people, even you coming in to do the record, try to see you as far as they can. So I was like, you know what? I am at the top of this category, but let's try to like change a little bit. Let's try to like if I eventually, I mean, I always think in the future in a sense, if I'm gonna move from zombies, which I've always had that in the back of my mind, um, I want to at least grab some people that will watch me for me. So I
Mhm.
really, really started cracking down on like the whole, obviously being skilled at a game is a thing. Like that's like people will watch that.
Mhm.
But if it's like that's not what everybody will watch, right? They wanna have
Yes.
something to look at as well, not just the game,
Mhm.
and at that point, Bladen, Mikey, and Tamale, they don't have they don't have, cameras,
Yeah.
stuff, and they even stream themselves. I'm like and Bladen and Tamale have the world record, but, like, I would still get more viewers than them, so it's like, at
Mhm.
that point, you're like, "Why the fuck would anybody wanna watch me if I'm in 3rd place now, and I throw my runs," all the like, throwmas are getting made, like, all this shit, right? And then I'm like, I do a lot of other stuff on stream that I was trying to like, implement and like, do a little bit more funny stuff, all this stuff. And that's why I went down the whole entertainment aspect because I knew that no matter how good you can be, there's got to be something else to pull people because like, I mean, I hate to say it, but we all get sick and tired of a game.
Yeah.
Like that's just how it works, right? I mean, shit, I'm a good example of that. That's the reason why I moved away because I got sick and tired of doing it
Mhm.
for that whole year. And yeah, and that's where I just and I was the only one with a camera, right? Like, I've always had a camera, so it's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, shit," put the voice to the face, and, I overreact, I started doing that more I started doing more reaction stuff, because before I would just be like, "Oh, yeah," just happening, be a little bit more monotone, and then I just went full force into, like, the Yoma, let's go, loud shit, and, it paid off because, honestly, like, I know I lost viewership, a lot of viewership from getting off zombies, but, like, I didn't kill my channel,
Oh, not
and
at
I've killed my
all.
channel multiple times. Like,
Mhm.
seriously, like, I've killed my channel to the point where, like, I had, like, 3 or 5 viewers, which is basically killing your channel, right? Like,
Yeah.
you're not getting growth. When I say kill a channel, it's like there can be, like, you're having, like, a little bit peaks here and there, but it's like a dead channel is just like, you're here. Like, there's nothing happening.
Mhm.
Even if you're like, you can still have a dead channel at, like, 30 viewers, you know that?
Yeah.
You have a dead channel no matter what viewer range, but if it's just like this the whole time well, when I say that sounds crazy. It's not dead, it's more of like you're not growing. Like I'm a big guy about
Yeah.
growing. There's
Mhm.
always gonna be something. If you have your peaks and it keeps going, like there's something there, right? You just gotta find it. But if
Mhm.
it's like this, and then maybe even go like down like that, you gotta change something. You gotta start thinking about that because that's just everybody. I feel like that streams goes through that aspect of like, you know, I want to grow. I want to do something like this, and you have to kind of change your perspective, just like wanting to stream for fun, and that's where it can kind of get like it's not you can't do it for fun. You can make things fun, but it's like you guys start thinking more of what you're doing with your content to
Mhm.
be able to do that. And that's like a hard reality because everybody's like, you want to stream, make it like it's not your job because once it becomes a job, it's not fun. But sometimes it's like Twitch is very luck based, and sometimes you can have the best idea and still not do stuff. So it's
Mhm.
like, I mean, I've had that many times, but I still keep going because it's like, I have the opportunity to, and I have some peaks here and there. It's just like, you got to find it. You got to find yourself. So.
Yeah, you kind of have to find some sort of balance in between being really good at the game and being really entertaining because I feel like there's not everyone will stay just for skill and gameplay and not everyone will stay just for content and being entertaining. I feel like if you find that middle point, you'll be able to draw people from both sides. Like each side will be satisfied and I think that's where you can get the most growth.
Mhm.
Because some people just want to watch gameplay and some people just want to talk with the streamer, and no matter what you're doing with that, you're going to be able to offer something to both sides, so you're not going to have people feeling left out, and then you have that solid average viewership right there and people talking in your chat, so that's going to put you up in the category and you're going to be recommended to more people, and then more people are going to come in and you're going to be able to satisfy them, and then it's just a loop of growth, and eventually you'll get to that point where you did with partner and you hit that. I mean, you had average of what, like 120,
Yeah.
130 or so when you got partner.
Well, I could talk about the decline of that shit too. I remember everything about like, when it comes to numbers, man, I remember all of it. And I fucking hate myself for doing that because it can ruin your mood. But for me, it's like I don't know, it's just part of life shit, like, it's just like getting a bad grade even though you studied where it's like, "Shit, I feel like I did everything right," but, like, maybe I just something happened where it's like, it
Mhm.
happened, you just move on. But, like, the biggest decline I remember is there was, like, a period before Cold War, like, maybe, like, a month or 2 where everybody's viewership just dropped, right?
Oh,
Like,
fuck,
just right
dude.
before that. But the funny thing is like, mine didn't that bad. And it wasn't that it was still above, like, 80s, right?
Mhm.
That's the thing. And that's where it's like, some people are like, "Oh my god," going from, like, 100 because I was playing Black Ops 2 and I moved over to Black Ops 3 for a little bit because I got the world record and all this shit. But before Cold War, I noticed that, like, there was, like, a cut. Like, my peak now was, like, maybe 90s,
Mhm.
which is at that point was, like, my peaks were sometimes, like, 150s, maybe in 200s sometimes, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that you can notice that where it's like, okay, I'm averaging, 70 to 80 now when I was just averaging, 100 to 120. And this is before Cold War. So this isn't like, that's a different I'll talk about the Cold War wall that we hit. But
Mhm.
it was like I think it was because like there was like that brief period where like, we had all the Black Ops content, like we had all the zombies content, and now it's getting saturated. And I think people were just like waiting for that Cold War to come out because I checked so many statistics on Solynome and Twitch Tracker and stuff, and I checked it, and I think the reason why I kept mine was because I went down the entertainment aspect, right?
Mhm.
Because at that point, the gameplay can't really save you. Like, I mean, we still have
Yeah.
Mikey running, all these people, and like everything just started like declining and stuff. I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, so what else is dragging people in? And I had the camera and I was still like, doing my funny things and I started implementing different, content ideas of doing stuff.
Mhm.
And that's what kept it. But like obviously, and then I started implementing, the whole super Easter egg stuff that which really, revived some stuff. And then the Cold War wall, and that shit really pushed me away from like I don't really consider myself ever being in the zombies community because I always try to exclude myself because it just felt weird to me. It just
Mhm.
was not my thing, even though like I streamed and stuff like that. But um I remember when Cold War happened and the day before on Twitch tracker, I was like averaging 120, right? The last couple days doing Super Easter Egg, Black Ops 3, and then I go to Cold War, and immediately I started like getting my peaks of like 50s. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. There's really no difference when you think about it. It's like, Black Ops, right?
Mhm.
Zombies, zombies. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like maybe it's just because, saturated, right? But like, what happened to all the people that were watching me, right? And then I was like, okay, I'll give it a couple days. The next one I did Easter eggs. And like, still getting the exact same. And then I was like, okay, let's do some speed runs, maybe high rounds. Nothing was happening. I was like, oh God. I was like, wait, this is not good, actually. And then I really, really got in my own mind. I was like, yeah, no, fuck this shit. And then I quit. And from that point on, I felt like I did the right thing. I jumped the ship at the best time because I felt like a lot of people were feeling the same. And then I
Mhm.
started implementing other content and then really started diving into like, let's try other stuff out. Other stuff out. Now here I am with like a solid base community where I can like if I find like the right target, I can actually go high above, but then I need to like start finding stuff. So I've made sure that I can play variety games. Like I played Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Mhm.
I played like these just random games and people will still watch me. So I'm like, okay, I got a base, but now I need to like try to do other stuff. And that's where, the whole content idea stuff, like the hentai Lollapalooza shit and stuff like that. So like, yeah, and it's been more fun and more relaxing to be able to do that because, like, overall, like, I don't have enough viewership or, money to be able to make this a full time, but it's like, obviously we're in a pandemic and, all this stuff, which can lead into, like, the whole college stuff, but, um, yeah, like, I jumped the ship. I saw it from the first couple Cold War streams that something was so off. And not only that, I saw your streams, I saw Nick's streams, Shane's streams. Like, I don't just base it off my stuff, I base it on my surroundings. Like, that's why the outliers you can't really use because, like, you have like MC and like other big streamers like popping off, right?
Yeah.
You think that you can do that, right? You're like, okay, like I watch Yoma play Black Ops 2 speedruns. I want to replicate that. I want to be like that. And then
Mhm.
they try and it never works, right? And at that point, it's like, okay, Yoma might be the outlier here. Let me see what else I'm working with around the people that are just starting. Like it'd probably be like for you, for example, you went from high rounds and you still pulled some people, but then like you lost, your high rounders, and I saw your comment on your other podcast where people would come in and make fun of you for doing Easter egg speed runs,
Mm-hmm.
all that jazz. Where it's like, that's more realistic to look at versus me being at the very top of like, chat going insane, me just laughing, doing stuff, viewership's going up, following. It's like it's easier just to look at the top and be like, yeah, I want to do that
Yeah.
versus just you need to start somewhere to get there because I didn't just get there out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I was at the pinnacle. I was like the start of it, and then I just like went up with it, and it just yeah, and it was harder for me to fall down versus like even I remember XQC streaming Black Ops 2, and he would like I dropped viewership hard, but then as soon as he stopped, it went right back up, and I got more
Yeah.
followers and viewership because of that. And that's where it's like that's how crazy it can be with the outliers of like you're in the top percent of the category versus being the bottom trying to work yourself into that. And a lot of people what they try to do was get the world record, and once they got it, which a good example is Mikey's literally the pinnacle of this discussion. Is like I was at the top
Mm-hmm.
doing my shit, and then Mikey, I think he streamed or he recorded it. Nobody knows who the fuck he is, right? I mean, he had other records, but like
Yeah.
when my stream and stuff like that, it's like, what the fuck? Who the fuck is this guy? Takes it, and then it's like, immediately gets 50 viewers, right? Right there in the spot. Like he's dead ass, like right there. Now he's got 50 viewers, just like chilling one, like the next stream, he can even talk about it. But then the funny thing about that is that he doubled my viewership. And at that point, I started averaging 100 more plus viewers off that. I was like, what the fuck? That's crazy. And it's like, I don't have the record anymore. But then that's where the whole, the beef between Mikey and Yoma started coming in for the world record, and then
Mm-hmm.
breaking the sub 50, and then Bladen started coming in because Bladen's already been part of this, but now he's like coming back, and then Tamale, and then all this other stuff happening, and that's like a good example of like if you want to break through, you got to be like you got to be the best of the best, or like make something of yourself. Because
Yeah.
mine was more of I was being entertaining. I had the world record. I beat it once or twice before other people started coming in. The good example is the history of the world origins world record video. Have you seen that?
Yes, the one that Bladen made, or wait,
No,
which
no,
one?
no. Another person made where he talks about like the whole history of
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah.
I know what you're
He
talking about.
trying
Yeah.
to give like a good aspect where it's like I held the record for 2 years. Nobody did anything with it because it was dead. And then I came out of nowhere, beat it again, and then Mikey started coming and watching me do that, and he's like, I could do that. I've played a lot of zombies, and then he did, and then we started going back and forth. Then Bladen came through with new strats, started doing it as well. Then Tamale and like all this shit, and it was a storyline. Honest to God, it was like a sports storyline. It's like, oh my God, came back, like all this shit. So it was cool.
I think the one of the biggest things with that is by getting the world record, the actual world record, you're able to appeal to a lot more casuals, because a lot of casual people will see world record or first place on the leaderboard. They'll be on YouTube and maybe there's a reaction video to it. Maybe they just come across it. They see world record, they're going to be likely to go watch that. So I think that when you got world record or when Mikey got world record, and there's just more and more world records, the casuals are coming in from YouTube or other places, and they're
Mhm.
going to start watching. And then when they start watching someone like Mikey because they saw he got the world record, they're going to see you in his chat, they're going to see Bladen, and they're going to go
Yeah.
yeah.
The first time Mikey got the world record, I was in his chat spamming Pokimane
Hmm.
emotes because I got gifted
Yeah.
them to her, and I was like, "Fuck, it, I'm doing it." And like literally, like he got it, and that's when he like did the whole like not breathing. That's I will always remember that shit. Like always
Yes.
remember that shit where he's like not talking, just like dead silent, and then as soon as he gets it, he's like breathing. I'm like, God damn, bro, don't die on this kind of shit. And then that was like iconic on that shit. And
Yeah.
then it was, and then that like basically like really pushing. I think that was the sub 50. I think I don't know if
Yeah,
that's sub
he
50
got
or
the
not.
first sub 50, yeah, and
Yeah,
I think it was a 48. I think he skipped the 49, and I think he had like a high 48 for the
yeah, it
first
makes
sub
sense because
50.
the robots work in like minute intervals, so it would have to
Hmm.
be like a 2 minute unless like he like jacked up somewhere. Yeah,
Yeah, so with what I was saying, I truly think that casuals seeing the world record, that's how it starts, and then because we're so like close, I know you said you're not in the community, but I mean, it is the world record community. You guys are all close in there. You all know each other. You guys all watch each other.
yeah.
So if you watch Mikey, you know Yoma and Bladen. If you watch Yoma, you're gonna know
Oh yeah,
Mikey,
oh big
Bladen,
time.
Tima. And Mikey was talking to me about this a while ago. He was saying that he goes and chats everywhere. And when you're scrolling through Black Ops 2 and you always see the name Mikey in every single chat, and then you see him and you're like, "Oh, I know this guy. Let me go check him out." And then you see that he has a world record or one of the top 3. You're going to be likely to stick around and get to know him. And I truly think that that's a huge thing. And I've noticed it too. If you're a streamer and you go into other people's chats, you're going to get found more. And people are likely going to chat with you in your stream because
Yep.
they know you as a friendly face. They're comfortable with you. They probably had some banter with you or just like know some small things about you. And I noticed it myself because when I go look through Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 1, like there's nothing really that's appealing to me. There's no reason that I'm going to click on a stream specifically besides I see a high round, I'm like, "Oh, I want to check this out." Or I'm like, "Oh, this guy's been in my chat. Oh, he streams? I didn't know that. Let me go say hi. Let me go see how he's doing." And especially somebody that I see in a lot of chats, I would be super excited to go find out if they're good at the game, if they're entertaining, all
Mhm.
that stuff. But yeah, I truly think that's one of the biggest things, you know. If you engage in the community in as many ways as possible, you're gonna grow. And
And the reason why I never call myself in part of the zombies community is because you kind of touched on at the very beginning of this is that like zombie viewers only watch zombie viewer or zombie streamers type
mhm,
of shit. And I learned that, years before just by like streaming other games, right? Like if you streamed one specific game, then you moved on, those people aren't gonna fucking watch you. Why the hell would they want to watch you, right? Like
mhm,
you're not part you're like you're not streaming anymore. Why the hell do I want to watch you, right? And that's why I never put myself in that category. I mean, other than like, world record stuff like that. But the zombie community is just like, dude, I'm like, guys, I said this on stream, I'm like, guys, if I get partnered in all this shit and like, something bad and Cold War is terrible, boys, I'm fucking out of here. Like, I'm like, guys, I don't want to be part of this shit. Like, I know like you guys are passionate and shit like that, but like, guys, I hate to say this, fuck that noise. Like, I'm mad at this bitch.
mhm.
And guess what happened? I'm out of here. And then I still get asked question, Yoma, when the fuck is Black Ops 2 happening? What happened? I'm like, what happened? Bro, I got partnered and shit. And then Cold War sucked. And I'm like, and Black Ops 2 is so optimized that like you have to rely on RNG to
Mhm.
carry you. And at that point, who the fuck wants to do that shit? Hell no.
Yeah, dude, zombies viewers are very, I would say, ignorant and selfish. So with the ignorant part, they don't understand what it's like to be a streamer. Many
Right.
zombies viewers just play zombies and they can just boot up their console or PC whenever they want to play it and chill. And they're never going to get tired of it because they're never forced to play it. But on the
And you know what?
stream,
And that's a good thing where it's like they don't understand the streamers.
mhm.
Like, it's easy to just like to look at me and be like, "Oh yeah, dude, you're having fun. You're like you're doing great." It's like, dude, the amount of fucking things that I think about outside that shit, especially when I'm streaming zombies, where it's like, dude, I don't want to fucking do this, but like,
Yeah.
I'm working for the partnership shit, and not only that, like I, I have never been the biggest fan of zombies, right? I've played zombies, I've played every Call of Duty, kind of like that, like, all this, but it's like I'm not the biggest, like, oh my God, the nerd about it. Like, I don't
Mhm.
care, right?
Yeah.
But like the stream popped off, so I kept going with it. That's what
Yeah.
you do. You capitalize on that shit. And, you know, I don't know. It was a weird aspect when people were coming in my chat and they were talking about like, yo, this has to be your favorite map, right? And this has to be your favorite game. I'm like, no, not really. I mean, I'm just streaming this shit, right? Because like, you see the number ship, right? Like you see what's going on.
Mhm.
Not that I'm for the money, but it's more of like, it's a good sign that like, oh my God, I'm growing. Then why the fuck stop it, right? Like,
Yeah.
and that's where sometimes being transparent can hurt you because people are like, wait, you're only doing this for the sub count? You're only doing this for the viewership? Obviously, like all that stuff. I mean, it's a different aspect, but it's like, I mean, that shit is fun. I mean, that's
Yeah,
awesome,
it's
right?
motivating
Like
seeing
hell
those
yeah. I'm like,
viewers.
yeah, I'm like, shit, like, that's cool. I mean, right? Like, that's why I like,
Yeah.
it's reception, right? You're like, that's what's so crazy about Twitch and, YouTube. It's like, you're getting reception right there in the spot. Like, you're literally, if you do something wrong on stream, that's not the game people want, you will literally find out very fast. Like, oh my God, there is nobody in my fucking stream watching me play this game.
Yeah.
Versus like, oh my God, I'm playing Black Ops and there's way more people. Like, you don't get that a lot of times. Like, sometimes even in school, you're like, maybe I do understand this. And then the exam comes up and you just suck at it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, I have to try harder now. And that's after now, right? You
Mhm.
can't fix yourself. You can't fix that exam. You just have to keep going, right? And that's where it's like, I don't think people realize that. and you can't just I don't know, and that was a good example of just like the reception and stuff like that. It just and being the whole streamer versus being a viewer, it's easier just be like, oh yeah, dude, just do that, have fun doing it. Like boys, like it's I'm okay, like Mr. Joe Bob and stream, go play, a game that you've played your whole life and then stream that for a fucking year. You tell
Mhm.
me how you're gonna feel about that game. Like all this shit's like, they're just like, just play the game that gets you views. That's another aspect too, where it's like, just play the game that gets you views. Fuck it, right? And then you hit that pinnacle or that peak of like, guys, I can't do this. Like, I don't care. I know my viewership's high. I know sub count's high, but like, dude, like my motivation to streaming is just killing me.
Yeah,
And that's where that goes into.
playing games for views is good for short-term happiness. Like you playing Origins and getting the views and stuff, you're going to be happy at the moment, and then after a certain point, you're just
Yep.
going to hate streaming. Like what you were talking about earlier, streaming becomes a job. You're just
Yep.
doing it for the money or for the views and all that stuff. And you're locked in at that point. And because people are only watching you for the game, well, not only watching you for the game, but I think you know what I mean.
A
Because
majority did, yeah,
yeah,
like, a lot of people were like, "Yoma, I would watch you play anything," and then they just outright lie to your ass.
yeah.
I'm like, "Bro," like, and it's funny, thank God I like, it wasn't my first time ever streaming, and I've been in it for years. I'm like, "Okay, I'll see you in a month when I'm not playing zombies." And where the fuck are they now? Mhm.
Yeah.
"Yo, but I've been so busy, dude. I don't know what happened to you," right? I'm like, "Hmm,
I've
that's
been here.
interesting."
I've been here.
I was like, "Wait, you went to school? Wait, aren't we online? Wait, you know when I stream? Wait, what?" And obviously, I'm not trying to blame viewers, stuff like that. Like, that's like the biggest thing where it's like people think that I'm like, just jabbing only at viewers. Like, bro, a lot of what I do is basically it's based on the streamer. Like, if I move a game, it's me, right? Like, I take
Mhm.
the fault for only playing zombies, building a zombies community or zombie viewership, and then dropping viewership. Like, that's on me,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's just more of like, I look at everything like, if it's part of it, it's part of it, right? But
Mhm.
obviously, I take the whole fucking grasp of it. It's just more of like, there's different aspects of everything. So
Yeah. Streaming is hard, man. I'm not gonna lie. Streaming is a lot harder than people
why is
think.
it hard? Why do you think it's hard?
Um,
Like, I kind of know the answer to this. I'm kind of setting you up to like put it into it, but why do you think it's hard for like what you do? Because you do high rounds, right? Like you're
yeah.
that's where it's like I'll let you answer. I don't want to give you the answer just yet. I want to know why do you think it's hard?
Well, streaming for gameplay isn't hard. If you're just playing games and having fun with it, it's really not hard. But I would say having to stream consistently, like if you want to stream for growth and not just be stagnant with the viewer
Mhm.
count, with all that stuff, it's going to be hard because you're going to constantly have to change things because something may work now that's not going to work in a month or 2 months.
Yep.
Something may seem perfect now and it's just going to change. So you can't just do the same thing over and over on Twitch because people are going to get tired of you, people are going to stop wanting to watch you, and you're going to need to do something to draw them back in. And you put all your time and effort into changing up your stream, trying to improve, and still there's going to be a bunch of people that aren't going to come back. You already fucked it. And it's just
You
there's
you're explaining it very well, and there's basically one word that I use a lot
Mhm,
that you're like defining it is streaming becomes hard when you want to build content and make content.
mhm,
That's what's crazy about because you're like you can have the gameplay, right? Like you can speed run, you can do all this stuff, and you're like, yeah, you're chilling, you're staying stagnant, but then you're like, okay, how long can I actually go for this? What if I
mhm,
start trying to do other content that actually is like, a bigger atmosphere of shit, like me just doing random variety stuff, making content and starting to like, actually try to, once again, you're like changing what you're doing because people will get bored of what you do no matter what you do. Like I had people complaining like, yo, you keep speed running. I'm like, bro, I keep growing. Like, what do you want me to like? I remember talking about this on stream. I was like, boy, you're complaining that I keep doing this fucking same game over and over, but look at the fucking view count, bro. It keeps going up. What do you want me to do? Be like, yeah, fuck it. Now I'm done. And this is like, prime time shit where I'm like, I keep going, right? I'm like,
mhm,
okay, I'll change it up. Went to Black Ops 3. Then I started hitting more peaks, right? I
mhm,
started figuring out more about Black Ops 3 and stuff like that because I never played Black Ops 3 even before that. And then like at that point, I'm like, okay, you guys want to change? And they're like, I'm still not satisfied. You're still doing speedruns and zombies. I'm like, boys,
What do they
you guys.
want?
I'm like, that's my point. And like, that's where I go to this aspect of like, dude, you cannot try to get affirmation from your viewers.
Yes.
Obviously, like, it's like you can get like input, right? It's
Hmm.
more of like getting the affirmation, which is like I talked about this off this podcast with you, was like it's like not confirmation, but it's more of like you're trying to ask them that like what you're doing is fine, right?
Mm,
It's like, oh my god,
yes.
guys, I'm doing this right. How do you think about it? This is fine, right? They're like, yeah, it's fine, it's fine. And then it's like it's actually not fine
Hmm.
because you're not doing anything right. You're not growing, all this stuff. But yes, what you defined is like trying to basically start doing content in a sense, right? Like you got the gameplay, you
Hmm.
got like the, consistency, and then you start trying to become consistent with new content. And that's where I'm basically doing that at the moment with like, doing all this variety stuff, trying to like, try to find out what pops off. Like I had a react video that is in the 3K views right now, which is like the highest I've ever had for like just a random ass variety video. I've reacted to a Russian video. Has over 3K views now.
Really?
And then I've got other variety stuff that I've put more work into. Bro, I sat here just watching it, laughing here and there, providing nothing more. And it's gotten more views than me actually, doing content with the green screen and doing other stuff where I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? And that's the thing. I was like, maybe I am trying too hard. Maybe I'm
Hmm.
doing this shit. Maybe my content is not that good. Maybe I just be like, chill out. And maybe, I'm like, there's so much maybes and just like, stuff that I want to get affirmation for, but you can't because when you start trying to do content and change stuff, like you'll get the results right there in spot. And you're maybe like, maybe the results that you're getting right now is not what you're going to get with the same, like if you try to do the same shit later on, which is how I started on in 2020, had 20 views. And then the peak, I was at 120 plus, like, average,
Hmm.
right? And I was like, who would have ever guessed if I just kept playing zombies from right here to this point, I'd get to that point? Nobody, right? You
Yeah.
don't know that.
Yeah.
But then when you get the first affirmation, maybe if I was like, I started streaming zombies, I dropped viewership and I was like, oh, fuck, now it's dead. I'm not going to do this anymore. But if I just kept it for a little bit longer, you'd be getting somewhere. But you don't know that, right? Because you get your results right there in the spot. So it's like,
Yeah.
ah, shit. And now you're just like, what the fuck do I do now? And that's what sucks about it. And that's where it's like, trying to be content driven
Hmm.
and trying to change your stuff can get really scary. You're like, oh, fuck, man. I just lost, like over half of my viewership because I just swapped games and
Hmm.
I'm having more fun and probably providing better content, right? And people are like, yeah, I missed all Yoma playing zombies. I'm like, boys, girls, I did nothing different for months on end. I did the same thing, talk about the same things, tell the same stories. And people are like, they ate it up. And now when I do this different content, completely different content, way
Hmm.
more interaction, way more
Yeah.
just different, having fun. It's like, oh, it's just not the same. I'm like, God damn it. This just does not work. This is where it's like, no matter the input that you get, you got to do your own thing. And that's where I've
Yeah.
probably learned from just doing all this stuff is like, just do what you want to do. I hate like even if it kills your viewership, man, just do what you want to do because no matter what you do, people are just gonna look at like the opposite way, even if it's like it just doesn't work, and it annoys me because I'm like, guys, you had a full year of Black Ops 2 zombies with Yoma, right? And
Hmm.
you still want more of that shit. What the fuck are you talking about?
Dude, the viewers are never happy. They're literally never happy. And if you rely on, like you're saying, the affirmation, if you rely on the viewers being happy, then your stream is going to be fucked. Because one day it's going to go down the drain, and that viewer affirmation that you're always looking for is not going to be there. And it's going to
Yep.
hit you hard.
Yep.
But if you've been relying on just creating good content that you're proud of, then no
Mhm.
matter where
People
that
will
viewer
eventually
count,
find you. That's yeah. They
yeah,
will if you start building content that you like and it's like fun. I know this is gonna sound crazy, but even if you don't get people watching you, at least you're happy with what you put out, right? You can't
yes.
expect to put out new content and get new people. That is kind of like an entitlement, right? That's kind of like you're getting down the entitlement where it's like, oh my god, I kind of sound like I was being entitled by it's like saying I'm doing all this random shit. It's more of just like whenever what I'm trying to say, like whenever you build the new content,
Hmm.
you just can't expect new people to come in. like
Yeah.
it's all of it's luck. Like it really is. Like I can do more YouTube videos, I can do TikToks, all this stuff, and it's just like, will it work for you, right? It's just like no matter what you do, I've had plenty of videos. I mean, even right now in my YouTube, just like fail, right? Like they're
Mhm.
just like not doing well,
Yeah.
even though I'm doing something different and having fun. Just like it just didn't hit right. And then I do a fucking react video that is my most prized video right now, just popping off. It's still growing. I get around 500 views like every 2 hours, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? All I did
Yeah.
was react to a video. That's all I did.
It's so
In my other videos,
weird.
I'm like doing shit. I'm like, oh my god, I'm like trying to be original. And then at that, I reacted to a video. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I'm like, shit. Like maybe I am trying too hard. Like, fuck.
Content creation is so goddamn random. Like what you're saying, you can put so much effort into something and it goes nowhere, and you literally upload some kind of bullshit that took no effort and no time,
I
and it
edited that
blows
video
up.
in 10 minutes. I edited that
Oh,
react video in 10 minutes, bro. That's it.
dude.
Oh, I just sat here. There was nothing to edit. I just sat here. Watch me react. That's
Mhm.
it. And it's popping up. I'm like, dude, what the fuck, man? Like shit.
But that's the thing with like we're gonna talk about this later. We might get into it now a little bit, but like TikTok, you can do the dumbest shit and blow up on there. Literally the dumbest thing ever. And now you have hundreds of thousands of eyes on you. And I think at that point, that's where you can bring out the good content. You need to have some video or something that's gonna spike the viewership and have some eyes on you. But once you have the eyes on you, you can't just continue with the BS most of the time.
Yeah.
That's when you need to put out that good content. So at the start, I think when you're growing a channel, that good content, it does matter. You want to put out
Mhm.
stuff that you're proud of.
Oh yeah.
But most of the time, that good content isn't going to be the thing that turns you into the next famous person, the next
Yeah.
Tifu, the next whatever. You need to have something that stands out, and not even just with content, just in a stupid way, something that people want to watch. And once you get those eyes that I was talking about, then that's when you need to put out your best fucking content ever
Yeah.
and hold those eyes. If you can hold like 10%, 5% of those new people watching you, then you'll have that viewer base. And then you can keep continuing to put out good content. And maybe instead of having 100 views per video, you'll be getting 1,000 views per video or a couple thousand. Then you'll have even more eyes on you, and you'll get into that like groove of putting out good content. But at least you have opportunities for growth, and you're not just in the same place having no new people find you.
And that's where I feel like I kind of failed. I talked about this on stream before. I feel like I failed when it came to feeling like people are part of a community, right? I'm not talking about like zombie community. I'm talking about like your stream community. Like every stream or person has like their own community.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I felt like I kind of failed, right? Because like I'm like, okay, if I'm going from this like much viewership and I'm trying to be more entertaining and stuff like that, like not even trying to be speed running dude, and I'm like, I didn't pull as much people as I thought I would, or I didn't
Mm-hmm.
pull as like much as like people probably thought I could have, right? I'm
Yeah.
like, I probably failed that. But then I keep thinking about, I'm like, I didn't like zombie viewers, man. Zombie, like the whole like trying to hold it is fucking hard, man.
Oh, dude.
Like, I feel like no matter what have I, like, no matter what I could have done, right? Like, I was very ecstatic. I was like, like, enthusiastic, doing all this stuff, being engaged. I was very engaged, right? I mean, still am, obviously, like, interactive and stuff like that. Even with the gameplay was fine. And I'm like, I don't know what more I could have done, but that's the problem, right? You can't really be like, oh my God, I could have done any more. It's more of like, there's always something to do better.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the one thing I just went back on was just like probably just me just ignoring a lot of stuff, just like, oh yeah, we need a new community, or like, I don't know. Like I go down this perspective of like, you can never be stagnant. And when you start becoming stagnant, you're probably gonna get yourself in trouble, because if you change something that's not that, it'll probably backfire on
Mm-hmm.
you. And I don't know. And that's where it's like, I'm lucky that I even have people watch me now, because I'm so sporadic the way that I do stuff. Like December was my least streamed um month. Like I
Mm-hmm.
think I streamed 5 times in December, which
Holy
is crazy.
shit.
Yeah. Because I was worn out. I was down on my numbers. It wasn't even just because Cold War. It's more because like I don't want to stream zombies. I know zombies can pull in viewers, like, and maybe not even now anymore. I'm like, okay, maybe that's like the outlet is out now for getting viewership, right? I'm like, okay, well, fuck. I'm already feeling like shit because I don't have enough viewers, and that's where I was like, God damn, dude, this is toxic. And I didn't stream at all in December. I was like, this is how you kill a channel. Stop streaming, right? You kill a channel by stop streaming.
Yeah.
And I was like, yep, this is it, right? Like I'm just gonna stream. I streamed right, like I would have like 2 weeks off, right? And then just stream out of nowhere. And then people would come in and watch, right? I was like, oh, that's cool. I
Yeah.
got like, 30, 40 viewers, just watch me.
Mhm.
Didn't stream for 2 weeks, right? Barely give out any notice. And then like January of last or this year, I was like, I'm about to quit streaming. Like I'm about to be done. Like I was like, I'm done, right? Like I'm gonna go get a job, all this. I'm gonna go try and get a job because it's still hard to get a job as a college grad, but
Mhm.
I was like, yeah, I'm done. Like, I don't have consistency because I'm big. I like to have consistency, right? And I was just going down this perspective of just like doing random content. I did like, eating chocolate and shit like that, just like random stuff, right? And it was fun. It was like fun. It was like, I didn't have much people. It was like 20 plus. I'm like, well, this is it. It's starting to decline, keeps going down. And then I was like, okay, what the fuck else now? And then I started speed running Odyssey, right? Viewership
Mhm.
went back up. And then I had like a revelation that I didn't really think about because I did it in Black Ops 2 era is when you're consistent, like when you're consistent on a game and you're growing off a game, that's your moment to try to pop off with that, right?
Yeah.
Like every streamer has a game that they pop off from, right?
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, you don't just pop up from one game because like, dude, it's not that important, right? Like there's something else there that's grabbing people doing shit. I'm like, okay, every other streamer and YouTube content creator, like all this stuff, have done a consistent stuff, but then they always throw an outlier. And that's what I've been trying to do
Mhm.
is that I'm starting to do something more consistent with speedrunning and stuff like that, but then start throwing other random content. And that's where now I've
Oh.
literally started to grow from playing variety games than staying on a consistent game. Because if I'm staying consistent streaming while I'm enjoying, you'll still get people there for the game, but now it's like, oh yeah, I have a planned event. Like I've been doing more marbles. I'm starting to stop doing marbles because marbles is free. Marbles is free viewership where it's like it doesn't. It's more there just to ego boost you because
Mhm.
like you're not going to get long term viewers. You're just getting people that just wanting to exclamation mark play. You're at like that's it. And just go with the marbles. They're not there really for you to be honest.
Yeah.
Just like zombies where it's like they're there for the game. They're not really there for you. So when I started doing variety stuff and being more interactive, it's like oh people are actually starting to come back more and the viewership is actually starting to go a little bit higher and higher the stuff that I started doing. And I started doing more just chatting stuff, which just chatting is the biggest category on Twitch that actually has provided a lot of blow ups for people. But Twitch is still random. You can't do that. This is where I go down the aspect of like streaming and content creating is not easy, right? You
Yeah.
have to learn this shit, right? You have to fail to get somewhere. Because I failed multiple times, right? I failed multiple videos this, that, like this stuff works on Twitch, doesn't work on YouTube. YouTube works this, that, and that, all this stuff, right? And it's just it's stressful, but at the same time, it's like it's not my job, right? That's where
Mhm.
I start thinking like it's not my job. And some people have gotten farther than I am by not even doing that much, right? And they're still doing way
Yeah.
better, even though I'm trying my ass off doing stuff where it's like, okay, I just need to calm it down, see what happens, and that's it. Just roll with the flow. It's not your job. Who cares? We're all fine. And that's where like a lot of like it's a lot of those revelations you have where you just gotta like you gotta it's the best thing I can say is like you're growing as a person and as a streamer. Your streaming may not growing, but you're growing as an individual and as a streamer. Like if I compared myself from a year ago today, basically like this month was when I started streaming zombies. My zombie stream started popping off, started going off, and I'm like, if I compare myself to now to back then, completely fucking different,
Mhm.
completely different. Like just adult because like now it's like more consistent and back then it's just more of like oh shit I'm growing fuck it keep going stuff like that just different mentalities and if you're not growing as a streamer or even as a person they say it's even in real life if you're not growing as a person then like what the fuck change up just start do something else kind of stuff so yeah I take that in a big thing just growing as a person maybe if it's like getting a new haircut maybe just moving your desk around maybe like doing shit you gotta like try something different you gotta
Yeah.
get out of that just like I don't know. I feel like that's like the best way to grow. Just start changing some stuff. Obviously, don't go like sporadic. What I do. That's where like I've gotten myself in trouble, which is by doing stuff sporadically, but
Mhm.
more of just like ease into it. And that's where I've kind of learned. I'm starting to do more consistent stuff, but then I'm starting to throw events that are doing better than my consistent shit, right? I'm
Okay.
keeping like people here to keep watching, but then I keep throwing one thing that's above it, and it keeps just doing that. And now people are like, "Oh my god, I can't wait for his next event." Keeps happening and all that shit. And it's just like, obviously, it won't work. Like, it doesn't always work because it's random,
Mhm.
and that's why it sounds good in terms. Like, it sounds good that I'm saying it right, but it doesn't always work, right? It's just how that's where it's like, okay, I was confident that I was doing it, but it didn't work. But who cares? I had fun, right? And yeah, it's a psychological battle that you have to play, mentality, and even sometimes physical too, just to be able to like stream. So yeah.
Yeah, that method of growth sounds super interesting and it makes a lot of sense. So, if you're streaming one game and you only play that one game, people are going to be locked into that. But if you stream one game and mix in those events like you're talking about, you might suffer some viewership at first. You might not be able to grow as fast, but you're also going to be drawing in people that like you as a person and your content, not just the game. And you're easing it in there. It's not like you're suddenly changing to something else. You're just throwing these events in there whenever possible, and you're kind of just drawing them into Yoma or
Yeah.
whoever the streamer is
Mhm.
as a person instead of doing that sudden change. And I think that's really important.
And I didn't do that. And that's why it's like, oh, like I did that maybe probably a maximum of 5 times in the span of a year. That's
Mhm.
not like, for me just playing zombies. I didn't do that at all. But
Yeah,
I'm doing it now
that's
and I'm starting to be like, that's so weird that it does work. Obviously, it doesn't always work, right? But it's like you're converting people. It's
yeah.
like you're literally trying to convert people. And that's just how it works, right? Like you're trying to bring people for yourself. You rather want people for you than the game because the game changes. You change as well, but they change with you, right? Like you
Yeah.
notice things like all that stuff. And it really is. That's probably why people are like, they get very sentimental communities, as in like, super people that are close with them because you're like, yeah, I'm connecting with this person and
Mhm.
all this stuff. And it's just like, I can watch them play anything because it's them and all that jazz. And I didn't do that during zombies. I went down. I really tunneled in the fucking like the gameplay. I tunneled that shit. That's why
Yeah.
sometimes pro players get big on a game and then they move a game and now they're fucking back down. That's just how it
Mhm.
works, right? Versus like, oh my god, you got big on this, but now you're entertaining. They're watching you do other stuff, but we like you for you, and they just keep going and going and going.
Mhm.
Good example is like XQC, biggest streamer on Twitch, you know, Overwatch Pro, good gameplay, he's got it. But then XQC, we all know XQC is a little fucking wild. He's
Yeah.
like, French Canadian, like you don't know how the half the shit he's fucking saying, right?
Mhm.
And that attracts people. He's like, it's very sporadic. He's super sporadic. That's like his own thing. He's just hella sporadic, and people love that shit, and they like him for him, and just you know, never ending shit. So it's just there's a lot of proof out there, and I use Ludwig as my like the streamer that I want to become, or like
Mhm.
content creator that I want to like use as an example, is because like he has so many good content ideas. He's like always on the spot with like good stuff. And obviously you don't want to like, replicate. It's more like put
Yeah.
your own spin on it. But it's just like it's a good mentality. It's like, yeah, he's not really good at any game per se, but he's
Mhm.
really good at like content creating, really good at like driving the mood, like bringing the vibes into funny territory, like, always something new. And I'm like, that's interesting. And there's always just different aspects of it where I'm like, I'm not bad at games per se. I can still speedrun. I can, if I put my time into a game, I can become, very good. Obviously, it'll take time, but
Mhm.
it's like, is that what I want to do? Right? Like, is that the time worth to do that? And just like,
Yeah.
where content creating becomes hard, and it's just like I feel like the overall of this whole thing is just content creation is not as easy as it seems, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's how it is. Especially if you want to become bigger and bigger. Like if you want to get like a stagnant point of view, you can be a React channel. React
Mhm.
channels are very easy to do. Low hanging fruit. It can work, right? But it's like if you want to go beyond that, you gotta put your beyond on that. Like you got to go beyond that and just start thinking more and change your stuff, do this and that and that. And um that's like my biggest thing I've thought about is just like, you gotta you talked about it a little bit before where it's like, your gameplay is there. Like you can stream zombies all you want, do
Mhm.
like the high round stuff that you be as good as you can, but it's like, what else are you providing, right? You're just doing the gameplay. What if you start trying to become, entertaining? I say it's like entertaining in the sense of like, you're interacting, you're doing stuff for yourself, like the content's driven for it. It's just
Mhm.
like I've had streams where I don't even have to fucking play a game and it's done better than me playing a game, right? Like I just stand here doing shit versus not even playing games. Like that's where it's like that's crazy, right? It's like I
Yeah.
don't have to play a game to grow. And that's a big thing. Like just chatting is crazy to do shit. And it's just like you gotta know how to take advantage of that. It's just how it is.
Yeah, I use YouTube instead of coming out with different types of content on Twitch. I generally will use YouTube to get to know my viewers on a more personal level. So I on YouTube about a year ago or so, I started doing vlogs, and I noticed that upload my vlogs that I uploaded did significantly better on YouTube than if I uploaded some sort of zombies video. And people really liked the vlogs. I would always get asked, when's the next vlog coming out? Get good views, good likes, all that
Mhm.
stuff. When that was 100% different from any content I made on Twitch. On Twitch, I have my gameplay, and I'm always interactive, reading chat, talking to chat. So I would say people think I'm entertaining, but the entertaining thing that they're looking at there is completely different than me walking around with a camera, talking
Mhm.
to it, telling them about my day, what I'm doing, talking about my car, all that kind of stuff. So I use YouTube as a way to diversify my content. I don't know if that's the
Mhm.
right way to put it, but and then I came out with, well, I ended up doing a bunch of vlogs. I've had like 13 or so come out, and they've all done relatively well, and people like them. And then I wanted to try something new. So I decided to do the podcast here. And yes, most of it is about zombies, but
Mhm.
just a podcast is completely different than gameplay, because obviously there's no gameplay in this podcast. If you are enjoying this, you're enjoying it simply because of the discussion or my personality, Nick's personality before, or whoever we're talking to.
Mhm.
So I feel like this podcast is another way to draw my community deeper and get to know them better and have them get to know me. And I truly think that the separation between Twitch and YouTube is super important. I think it's a lot harder to do different things on Twitch, like switching between games, like what you're
Yep.
doing, compared to doing one thing on Twitch and doing one thing on YouTube.
Yep. And I talked about it with Blizz and Shane.
Hmm.
Like, I feel like I've been used for information and just like valuable information about everything. I've DM'd and all that stuff, and I think I even Blizz talked about me or sometime, and like Shane and I would like share ideas for different stuff, all this stuff because like I would just do random stuff on stream that would work,
Hmm.
and then he would be like, "Yeah, I want to try that," and he does it like all that jazz, and the best thing I can say is like with Blizz, he said that he used me as it's not in a bad way, and he used me as a like a guinea pig or like an example of
Oh yeah, he
what's gonna
told me about
happen
that. Yeah.
when you move away from zombies, right?
Hmm.
Like overall, I think his mentality has changed a lot from going. He's gone just Minecraft. He's obviously he's been playing other games, but majority Minecraft.
Hmm.
And you know, he said that like it's revived this like aspect of streaming. Says like that's how streaming should be. And I'm like, damn straight, because I've streamed for years. And like I know the aspect of like going variety.
Hmm.
Variety is fucking fun. Like that's just how it is, right? And this is my first time ever growing like big, and I'm like, okay, my first time ever, like everybody else in Zombie Suit, we're hitting our peaks. Everybody has different peaks, right? I feel like I had the highest peak at some point for like the average and stuff like that. So I am the guinea pig of what can happen when you're at the highest,
Hmm.
and now you're here, and now what do you do? And I remember him DMing me or talking to me. He's like, "Yeah, like, thank God you did this shit because like I did Minecraft. The first variety stream was hardcore Minecraft, and then Blizz's I think first stream was him doing Minecraft. Now he's addicted to Minecraft. So I'm like, hell yeah, that's good for you. But then for me, I've got like I call myself I have ADHD with video games. Like I can't stick with one video game,
Hmm.
and that's why people didn't find that out whenever I was playing Black Ops 2 because like I didn't really talk about it too much, but like I I probably play a game for a week and then I'm done with it. Like I just can't. Like it's so hard for me to just stay with one game. And it hurts me because on streaming it shouldn't be like that. You should be able to be consistent. That's where the speed running really does catch my attention. And then I need to start doing the outliers because that's how it works. But yeah, I was a guinea pig. And I still am because I kind of proved that like you're gonna lose viewership, but you're gonna have an audience, right? Like you gotta know how to do it right. Keep an audience people want to watch you. Your viewership's going to drop. Like that's just going to happen,
Yeah.
man. Like you went from a consistent based on one game, and you're going to drop it. I hate to say it, it happens, right? My YouTube even dropped because like I would get zombie viewers watching my diverse content I did just for YouTube,
Mhm.
and then I remember there was literally a video of me just reacting to the world record video, the guy that made like the Black Ops 2 world record video. I
Mhm.
reacted to that, and that was basically like the day or the week that I quit zombies. My next videos all just went down, right? Because like the zombie streamer viewership can actually rely or can go over to the YouTube viewership. Because I'd be like, I'm chilling my own shit. I'm like, yo, go to my YouTube channel, watch this video, and they'd go over there and start farming the YouTube viewers or the Twitch viewers. But then whenever I stopped doing it on Twitch, it came back to YouTube. But now
Yeah.
I have a consistent people that will watch my YouTube videos because I went down the whole Ludwig route
Mhm.
of I plan my content on stream for YouTube, hence why I have like non-copyrighted playlists and stuff like that. So now when I plan the content out, it's easier to edit it and do it, right? Because I can do content off stream. I've done it before and they've done really well. But
Mhm.
it's like if I stream as much as I do my YouTube content, it overlaps. And that's why
Yeah.
I've had plenty of videos go pretty well on YouTube that I've done on Twitch. And then some of them are back and forth where it's like it sucked on Twitch, but did great on YouTube. And then it sucked on YouTube, but it's doing great on Twitch.
Mhm.
And like a good example is marbles. Marbles are great for Twitch because it's right there in spot. But on YouTube, it's like you're just watching random shit. Like no one really
Yeah.
shit, right? And that's what you learn, and that's what's so great about content creating. Because with zombies, you wouldn't fucking figure that out. You're just playing zombies. You're just speed
Mhm.
running. No offense, there's nothing wrong with that. Just more of like you're not really learning to be the better person or better streamer or better
Mhm.
content creator. You're just doing the same thing over and over,
Yeah.
and that's just how it is.
Yeah, I guess that's interesting. I kind of do that subconsciously. Like when I make my Twitch content, I want to be able to put that to YouTube. And the way you put it, how like if you do it on both, you have like double the chance of it doing well. So if you put it on
Ludwig's a
Twitch,
good example. Ludwig really did teach me how to do that shit.
hmm
You get your segments. I made plenty of segments where like, hey, yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the video. Today we're doing this, and then then you just go into the whole streamer aspect of like the good highlights and stuff like that, and it works. It technically does work really well. It's just more of like the problem is when you're really small that no one really talks about is like when you're small, most of the people that are watching it have already seen it. So you're going to get less
yes.
viewership on YouTube or
hmm
views because they've already seen it. Like your Twitch viewers are like a lot of your YouTube is part of your Twitch, right? And
Yeah.
that's where it's like sometimes if you do like sporadic stuff where you wait to put out the content, it's like it's brand new, but then you already did it. And that's
hmm
where Ludwig is a good example of like he's already at the high end. So no matter what he does is fine. But when you're at the low end trying to do that, it's like you guys start changing your stuff. So that's why I'm like, I'm probably gonna start doing more off camera YouTube videos to do that and then start implementing. See, I go back to this whole aspect of like you do one consistent thing and you start throwing the outliers to see what
hmm
happens because you have to test it and it's like a hypothesis basically. And yeah, and pretty much. Also, do you want to swap topics? We've been on this topic for a while. I
I
just started realizing we can go down the whole fucking time.
I want to say one more thing.
Go for it.
So I kind of tried out the do something on stream and upload it to YouTube, and it wasn't planned at all.
Mhm.
So somebody just was telling me when I was playing zombies, they're like, "Tell me a story." I was like, "All right." So,
Oh yeah, I saw that video. Yeah, you're talking
yeah,
about your why you don't play video games and shit like that. Yeah, and
yeah.
I think
So
it's doing. I think it's doing better than some videos, right?
So, yeah, I basically told a story on stream, and after I did, I was like, this is kind of interesting. I talked about a lot of stuff. It went from like how my parents basically told me stuff about video games to how I stopped playing, how I started playing again, how I started streaming, and then we ended up talking about how parents from different generations give their kids technology and stuff. So it ended up being really interesting. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna download this last part of the stream and I'm going to edit it. And I'd never done something like this before. So I went in hard and I cut it really well in my
Mhm.
opinion. So there were no gaps at all. Like even if there was like a couple seconds in between what I said, I trimmed that part out. And when you think about that, it sounds like it would be really choppy, but it ended up flowing really well. And within a period of like a 5-minute video or so, I talked about a lot of shit and there was no
Mhm.
empty space, no bullshit in there. And I feel like it's something that it's a kind of video that somebody would watch from start to finish. It's not the kind of video where you watch like 30 seconds of it a minute and you're going to dip out. Like you're probably
Mhm.
going to get drawn into it. And I think that offered something completely different than my stream. Because if you watched my stream, you would have been able to hear the story, but it's spread out through maybe 20, 25 minutes. And you're not getting it all at once. And also at the same time, you're enjoying gameplay. And in between stuff that I was saying, I was talking to chat and I had music going and all that stuff. But on YouTube, I basically took the best parts of that conversation, squished it together, added some like playful music in the background, and just turned it into a story time sort of video. And people ate it up. People liked it. And I think it's something that I want to do in the future, just based on that.
Yep. And that's good. That's a good example of like it's easy to like ask a YouTuber or Twitch streamer for the best advice of like what to do, right? But the best thing is for you just to find it out yourself, right? Like you just randomly like you were like, all right, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it, right?
Hmm.
And then it worked out, and you're like, well, that's weird. That actually
Yeah.
worked out, and that's how I worked. Where I was like, hmm, wait, I could just do YouTube content on Twitch and just put it over, do more edits and stuff like that. It's like, wait, that actually works. That's kind of crazy. And then you start, elaborating, and you start trying to change more stuff. And a good example too is whenever you were talking about it's only like a 25-minute talk, put it down into 5 minutes.
Hmm.
Bro, even the people on Twitch probably don't even remember that, right? And when you
Yeah.
put something on YouTube that they're like, did he talk about that? I was in that stream, but I don't remember that. And then they want to watch it. And the problem that I've gone into is like, I plan a whole stream out, and then, people are like, yeah, I watched your whole stream, bro. Like I even if you cut it up and shit, I watched your stream. So why the
Yeah.
fuck would I want to watch this video? Right. But then with yours, it's like, oh, it's a story that's 5 minutes long. It's like, shit, I don't remember the story. The hell? Like, I
Hmm.
left, 30 minutes after, you went live or something like that. And it's like, So you found an aspect of like, so you found something that you can basically elaborate on. And
Yeah.
that's what's so great about growing is because like you find shit like that. That's just how it is. And it feels good when you find that shit because you're like, huh, I'm not useless. Holy fuck. I can actually provide content. That's crazy. Right? And
Yeah.
you're like, yeah. But then the problem is like you did it randomly, right? You did the
Mhm.
story randomly, but now it's like you start trying to, you know, do it. Like, you plan it. It's like maybe not, it won't work out as well. It has to be like on the spot, which
Mhm.
sometimes can happen, but then you can get better and better at planning stuff. It's a process, right? No
Yeah.
one's fucking an expert at anything, right? You gotta build into it. So
Yeah. And I think the a big thing is you need to put out as much content as possible. I think a lot of people see that when you put out too much content that it can be a bunch of bullshit, stuff that nobody cares about. But the thing is, all this stuff that you're putting out is a test, and you'll see what people respond to, what they like and what they don't like. And I think, yeah,
I've been doing that.
obvious, yeah.
I did that basically the end of December into January. I was just posting videos left and right, seeing what was happening. Like, they were interesting videos per se,
Mhm.
but were they like really good? And they weren't. They weren't really that good. And then I took more time to plan stuff, and they're like, huh, did way better with planned. And I'm like, okay.
Mhm.
And then you learn from that. You're like, okay, yeah. Putting for me, it's like I can provide. I don't know. I don't want to put this back on myself, but yeah, it's just like how it is, and yeah, it's just all about learning and shit like that. So yeah.
Yeah. I think that wraps up our streaming discussion. You got
God,
anything?
yeah, that was a long ass conversation. Jesus
an
Christ.
an
Yeah,
hour,
probably
8
should move on.
minutes. So, to bring us on to our next topic, which is going to be social media. I think that to grow on Twitch or anywhere, you need to implement other social media platforms to grow even faster. These could be TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, like we talked about earlier, Discord. So, Yoma, I know you have a Discord server and a lot of shit goes on in there. I just joined, looked pretty action packed. So,
What the fuck? Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know, man. Your Discord server looked like something else, dude.
Bro, I got rid of the toxicity shit. You know that? I
Yeah,
went out
I know.
hard on that shit.
I read the rules. I read the rules, man.
Damn straight. That's what's up. Hey, that's what's up.
But yeah, so how do you feel? Do you think having a Discord server is good for growing your community on Twitch, and how?
Yeah, it's fucking vital. Like that shit is like vital. It's the best aspect I can give you is from other streamers like Devin Nash and all these other big streamers talking about it. If you want to grow off Twitch, sure, go for it. Try it. All right. Like,
Mm-hmm.
just randomize it. But Twitch literally is not really made for growing. It's made for keeping people, right? And we should be like, oh, that's growing. No, it's like Twitch is everything is just for people to stay there. Doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean it's going to grow. There's really no other way to grow other than recommended channels. And that's pretty much it, right? So you have to have different social media to grow for your channel as well, right? That's just how it works. But with Discord, you did kind of elaborate on this beforehand, is you get to talk with your viewers right there on the spot, right? Like you get to interact with them on a different kind of level, which I have no problem doing that. And sometimes people get annoyed that I do it because like I'm not that at them or anything. That's more of like I talk a fuck ton. Like I talk like the way that I talk now is the way I type. Like it's just
Mm-hmm.
how it is. So it's like it's a just a blur of everything, right? So it does build a personality trait on it, which that can get into like the whole parasocial shit. But as a smaller streamer, you do have to kind of rely on the relationships to build a bigger stream. Because when you start growing more and more and more, you're gonna get a lot of people that are just there for there and just like go in and out.
Mm-hmm.
But you have like your base, and Discord is really good for that. Like you build out what you want. You like, I mean, I've had my Discord nuked like 3 times, as in delete the Discord. There's new shit happening. Most recent was in December, but yeah, and I had to revitalize everything. And you just, I don't know, yeah, Discord is just made for interacting. Like I have a fuck ton of people. I have like almost like 300 people on there, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously I get like 10% of that, right? I get like 10% of those views, or maybe even less than that.
Yeah.
But Discord can work in so many different ways. It's more of like Discord has such a weird way where it's like people are getting in there and obviously they like you enough, but Discord works just like most other social medias where it's like you have a lot of Discord servers and sometimes your Discord server gets put on the shelf, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
they're just in your Discord server just chilling. Like they don't really care,
Yeah.
right? Until something's crazy happening. But the thing is, when you get new people, those new people are impressionable, right? The first impression is for them to be able to come back to you because they're in your Discord server now. So now, obviously, they like you. But if you're comparing somebody from months ago that doesn't show up anymore in your Discord server, obviously they probably check it, but they don't watch you anymore. It's
Mm-hmm.
a process that you have to get past in the sense of like if you ban one person, there's always somebody else that's probably about to get banned as well. There's always new people that are toxic. There's always new nice people. There's always new people in streaming. That's how Discord works with
Mm-hmm.
new people. If there's one person that doesn't show up anymore, you'll eventually get another person that will come in your Discord and start showing up more and talking. So that's basically how I think of it because it makes sense because like all these people that I had from zombies coming to my Discord still chill in my Discord because you can purge people if they don't get in your Discord anymore, but they still watch my Discord. So there's like an aspect of people just waiting for you to play a certain game or do a certain thing
Mm-hmm.
that may or may not work. But then you get to people that you talked about where they'll watch you play anything. They like you for you. They
Mm-hmm.
want to talk to you for you. And those are the people that you want to keep building up. And Discord is the prime example of you're watching me on stream, I'm being entertaining, doing my thing, talking to other people, but on Discord you can get personal, play with them, do this, that, and that, and yeah, better interacting.
Yeah. I have an idea of what I want to do with Discord, but I haven't implemented it and I don't really know how. So I have a Discord server. I've been streaming a long time, so I have probably about 300 people or so in it. I use my Discord to announce stuff like my YouTube videos, the podcast,
Mhm.
all that kind of stuff. And whenever
Which you
somebody,
should.
yeah,
You should always.
whenever somebody says something, I always see it. I have notifications, so I reply to it, but I don't really start anything. And I don't know how to necessarily get people to be more active in my Discord because my Discord's what you call dead.
Mhm.
And like every so often, every few days, we'll talk about something, but generally like I can go a day or two without seeing anything in there. And when it's people talking, it's usually the same few. So, do you have any tips on like how to get your Discord server more active? Is it you? Is it your viewers, your
Yeah,
mods?
it's you,
Mhm.
100% you. Um, whenever I've started my Discord server back in 2017, right? Like I
Mhm.
had no camera and shit like that, but it does kind of rely on you as a person, right? Like I talk a lot and
Mhm.
I type a lot. So no matter what, if somebody's not typing, I'm always typing. Like
Okay.
I know you just joined my Discord servers like that. I type a fuck ton, right? And it gets to the point where like I don't at everyone, I just type to type. And
Mhm.
a fuck ton of people don't type at all until they feel like there's something worthy. And
Okay.
that's what you have to it is very normal. Even the biggest of Discord servers can have like nobody really talking, right? It's just how it is. That's just no matter how it is, you shouldn't feel bad about making your Discord alive because they're still there for you in a sense. They still are
Mhm.
in your Discord server. It's just like a prime example, a good analogy is just like lurkers in your
Yeah.
stream.
Mhm.
Like you don't want to force them to talk, right? You
Yes.
don't like it's just like, oh yeah, they're there because like, they obviously like you, but they don't want to talk. That's how Discord works somewhat. But obviously it doesn't always
Okay.
it doesn't translate to viewership. That's not what I'm talking about. It's more of just
Mhm.
like they're there just to lurk. And the funny thing about it is when my Discord got nuked December, one of my mods deleted everything on my Discord. Didn't delete my Discord, they deleted like all the channels and shit like that. Different story. But my viewership popped. Like I went from like 30 to fucking 70s and the 80s. You know why?
Because
Because
people wanted to know what
yeah,
happened, or
people lurk in Discord. They literally watch what you say, and that's where
Mhm.
like the whole aspect of like if you're a one viewer Andy versus like a 30 viewer Andy, you always have to expect somebody's there. You just talk like somebody's there. Somebody's
Mhm.
always watching you, and that's how I work with Discord. Probably the best tip is you can type all you want. Like obviously people don't respond. Just type it. Fuck it. And sometimes I mean Shane does a good example of this. Just like ask questions. I don't ask questions because I don't. It's not that I don't care. It's more. I don't really care in the sense. But it's more of like I mean, if I'm going to ask you a question, I'll just at you, right? I'm not going to ask a
Yeah.
question to everybody because the whole discussion is for everybody. So I don't care what's happening. They will just respond with it. And that's how my Discord works. And
Mhm.
that's why it never really dies because I've banned plenty of people and shit like that and got rid of people that are super high chatters, but it always happens. Just like on stream, you get rid of one person, there's always somebody else to replace it. If you're obviously growing or like you're doing stuff,
Mhm.
there's always somebody to replace shit. And that's my best tip is just talk. Just fuck it. Like, the
So,
you gotta
I
know how to talk to yourself in a
yeah.
sense.
I guess, now that you've been talking about this, it's kinda been like I've been thinking about a lot of stuff. Like, whenever I'm sitting here at my computer, and I sit here all day because I have schoolwork, watching
Mm.
Twitch or whatever, I'm
I'm
always
stuck at
thinking
home,
about
so I understand.
yeah, I'm always thinking about stuff, and I need to, instead
Every
of
time you think about something, bro,
write it
post
in
that shit on
Discord,
Discord.
yeah. Uh,
Post it. Bro,
yeah.
I post the weirdest shit. Obviously not like, super bad, but more of like if I'm like watching a YouTube video, I like discuss about it. I'm like, fuck it. Like this video is tight, man. I link it and people are like, oh, cool, yeah. It's like you just gotta go. You just gotta
Mhm.
go. Like that's where like I kind of built it from the stream as well. Bro, I don't give a fuck. If I'm like thinking of something, I'm throwing it out. But obviously if it's like really fucking bad, because there's like,
Oh,
some
yeah.
they're like super edgy. I'm not like that type of guy, but yeah, that you could probably work on that. Just like whatever you're thinking, you're watching a video on Reddit because like I use Reddit for like PC stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, this looks interesting. Some people are interested on it, and I'm not big on zombies. And most people, they still watch zombies, but they still like they still talk to me and connect with me, even though I don't play zombies or even talk about any of that shit. But
Mhm.
it's like I provide the like the info or more of just like topics or just random shit because honest to God, I think of the most random shit, and sometimes people are like, "Yeah, I want that random shit." It's just like,
Mhm.
who cares? I just want to, like, what the fuck are you thinking about? Like, yeah, I'm just thinking about this shit, and yeah, so that you could
Yeah.
easily do that. So yeah,
So I just need to take what's on my mind, and instead of just thinking about it myself, I can just put it on Discord. And who
yeah,
cares if somebody responds to it or not? Eventually, something that I'm going to be thinking about and putting onto my Discord is going to trigger some sort of other conversation, and it's going to end up like giving my Discord some life again, and
yeah,
maybe it'll just keep going in a cycle, and eventually maybe the people in my Discord will carry it a little bit, you
yeah.
know?
I've had people from my Discord come into my stream and be like, "I haven't been here a while," but I'm like, bitch, you're in my Discord. The fuck, and you can tell if they they watching stuff because like there's like a purge button that you can literally see if people are like AFK, not checking your channel for like a month or two, and you can just get them out of your server just like because at that time it's just like I don't know why Discord has it, but it's kind of cool. But you can just like purge people if they don't be in your Discord for months on end
Mhm.
because like at that point it's just you don't really need them in the sense that's just how it works, right? But yeah, and I've had plenty of conversations from Discord carry over to the stream, and plenty of stream stuff come back to the Discord, and that's where
Hmm.
they have to like intertwine with each other. Where it's like, it works both sides. One's live, one's not. Well, one is live in instance of like, you see me, one you don't see me, and just stuff like that. So, yeah,
Yeah, I have the people in there, I have plenty of people in there. I just need to like utilize it. I
yeah.
just haven't been utilizing it in the correct way the last few years, and I think there's a lot of potential for it. I just need to start doing that. And I think that could help with viewership possibly. And if I do want
Mhm.
to go variety, I think those people are more likely to watch my stream, hopefully,
The
when I'm not
the
playing
best thing I
zombies.
will say when it comes to like doing a variety or like trying to pull people from Discord, it literally just comes down to the announcements. I've had people just come from my Discord because I'm just doing something interesting. That's
Hmm.
pretty much it. Like I've had people come in because I was just playing, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? And people were like, well, that's interesting. I want to click on that shit.
Hmm.
And they click on it and come in. And even if they leave, it's just more of like, that's an indication, right? Like, that's like knowledge. You're like, somebody was like, obviously looking at the announcements because they get a notification like, what the fuck is this announcement again? Yoma just doing some dumb shit, right? Clicks on it and they're like, I'm playing this. And they're like, that's interesting. And they click on it. That's how you can kind of rely that. And I know what you're talking about, like the personal level where it's like, oh, these guys like you for you. Let's pull them.
Hmm.
But realistically, that's not going to work most of the time. It's more of just like something interesting that's happening because, people mostly more people watch for gameplay than the person
Hmm.
for basically being a smaller streamer. Sometimes, I mean, smaller streamers really do have like the most active community members because such as like if you're a 5 viewer Andy for like a year, those 5 people probably fucking know you pretty well at that point, right? Like the same
Yeah.
people. But then if you start getting bigger and bigger, it's like you start noticing who the people are, and then there's
Hmm.
more lurkers and who's in and out for gameplay, and that's the struggle that you go with like the whole content creating stuff.
Yeah, it's really really interesting to see how Discord affects Twitch and just having a community and building it with that.
Hmm.
I think Discord's important, and I mean I've gotten this far without going super hard on Discord. I wonder if I make my Discord more active, if it actually will affect my numbers on stream, or if it'll just make these people that are watching me like me more, if it won't make any difference at all. So I guess we'll have to see, got to try out all these new things. Discord is like a content source, I guess.
Hmm.
Just like we were talking about earlier, uploading as much shit as possible, putting that content out there, seeing what people like, maybe these thoughts that I have, maybe if I'm thinking about cars and watching car videos and I go put something on my Discord, I'll find some other people in my Discord that are into cars. And maybe that will build some sort of bond there. And maybe I'll actually be able to do more of the car stuff that I care about with my stream instead of having to suppress that because I think nobody gives a fuck about it.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that
TikTok.
yeah, I was gonna bring up TikTok. So TikTok has like a very like negative stigma. A lot of people think TikTok is for kids. A lot of people think TikTok is stupid. That people just watch it to
I'm
watch.
addicted to TikTok. I'm just gonna
So
put
am
that out
I.
there. I'm a little addicted. I only started like recently too. I'm
Hmm.
very addicted, and it's like I fucking hate it because I'm like, God damn it, dude, it's stupid in so many ways. But I'm like, God damn it, you know what the fuck they're doing? Because I'm like, oh yeah, I like this type of shit. I'm gonna start seeing more of it now. I'm like, fucking a. I'm like, shit, man. And then it's like, oh wait, now like this new thing. Oh, now there's more of that. It's a
Hmm.
never fucking endless road. I'm like, shit, man. It's wasted time too.
Their
Where's that
al-
fun shit? I'm like, fuck.
their algorithm is so good. It's
Yeah.
so good and
Fuck.
effective, and they draw you in so much. And also, it's stupid easy to grow on TikTok. That's why
I
I brought it up
fucking
for
suck at
this.
it. I suck at it. I swear to God.
You don't post
Like,
enough.
I
That's
don't.
You need to post everything on TikTok. You need to post everything on TikTok. And one of these days, one of those videos is going to blow up. And it's
Hmm.
just the more content that you put out there, the more chance you have for it to be on the For You page, more chance you have for that one to be posted at a specific time when a lot of people that like the stuff that you're posting happen to be watching.
Yeah.
It's so random and weird because I've seen plenty of people with amazing content that don't blow up at all, and then people with some weird ass content that they have this one video that happens to become a trend or something, and they end up getting like hundreds of thousands of followers just off this one video.
See,
And
I just fucking suck at it. It's one of those things where it's like I know my strengths and weaknesses, and TikTok is one of my biggest weaknesses.
mm,
And the story that I wanted to bring up that I didn't tell you yet was, so I was tagged like a week or two ago from a
mhm,
Yoma fan page, right?
I
Like
saw
a
that.
Yoma 97. You saw that?
Well, I saw the fan page, and
Yeah. Bro, he has more likes and views than me, and I've posted more than him. He's posted 2 things, and it's myself, man. That's what I'm like, bro, I've posted more videos, and, like, I'm not even this is not even bragging, there's more stuff. It's like my first video had like 400, 500 views
mhm.
since on like TikTok, stuff like that, because it was super fucking weird, and it started going down that path. But then I looked at his videos, and his second video has like 5.6K views, and he has like a couple hundred likes. And I'm like, what the fuck? And it's me, by the way. This is me. Like
Yeah,
he's using my clip. It's me. So nothing's crazy, right? It's like, oh my god, he's not doing. All he did was put a title, and that's it. Put my clip on it. Way more views. And I was like, I mean, and he's crediting me, so I'm like, okay, at least something's working out. And
yeah.
he asked for my permission. I was like, yeah, of course, that's fine. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like seriously, he has more likes, probably about to have more followers than me, and it's a fan page. I'm posting more videos of myself than he is. He's
That's
posted of me. And I'm like,
it's
that's
TikTok
how I know.
RNG, dude. It's TikTok RNG.
That's how I know. I'm like, dude, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm like, yeah, I have no fucking idea. I'm like, yep, TikTok, I go for it, bro. I'm about to probably talk to this guy. I'm like, yo, post more of me. I'll allow you to have more access because I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but you're doing it right. Because I can't do this shit. I don't know what's going on. I edited a good video I thought I did, and it's doing a little bit bad. I think you like
Yeah,
that video.
yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? I don't know what to do. I'm like, shit, man.
It
Like,
just he happened to post a video that people liked, and if
it
you
was me
post
talking
more,
about staffing someone's mom. That's it. That's it. I said it live.
yeah, you just need to post more stuff because you'll have more of a chance for those
He
videos to
posted 2
be.
videos. He
Yeah,
po I posted more.
the 2 videos that he posted happened to be something that people like more than all the other videos you posted. You
What?
flipped the coin 10 times on 10 videos, let's say, and you got tails, and people didn't like it that much. And then he flipped the coin twice and got heads both
Fuck.
times, and people liked it. It's TikTok RNG, dude. It's
Shit.
completely random half the time. And the more
I have good
shit you
RNG though.
post,
Fuck, man. It's called Yoma RNG for a goddamn reason. What
the
the fuck?
the more shit you post, the higher chance you have
That's
of
true.
getting that heads on the coin flip, And you might have to experiment with posting at different times. Try posting the same video on different days at different times and see if it
Oh,
reacts
actually,
differently.
that's crazy. I actually just did that. Recent video that I posted, the one that you liked, I posted that one at like 6 in the morning. Did
Mhm.
fucking atrocious,
Yeah,
right? And then I deleted it, and then later the day I posted at like maybe like 6 or 7 p.m. It's doing way better now,
it's
and
so
I'm like,
weird. You can post
it
the
is,
same video multiple times and it'll react completely differently.
yeah. And I'm
Eh,
like, that's fucking. It has more likes now and views. I'm like, fuck, man. Yeah, I don't understand TikTok. It's a fucking addiction for like funny shit and stuff. But like, god damn it, dude. Like, another example is Jay-Z. I think you know who Jay-Z
Jay-Z
is, right?
Conscious, yeah.
Yeah. He, popped off hard on TikTok, right?
Really?
Yeah. Have you seen he has like a couple million viewed uh TikToks. Yeah, he has like a couple 100,000 views. TikToks, he has I think like 26,000 followers.
I haven't seen Jay-Z's TikTok. I only watch him on Twitch,
Yeah,
but
check his TikTok. You'll see what I'm talking about. And he's grown on Twitch. He got partnered recently, so
yeah.
welcome to the squad. But he even talked about it. He's like, my TikTok really didn't help my stream grow. And I'm like, that's actually like that. It's very apparent, right? Like he's got enough viewers on zombies stuff like that. But recently he did Just Chatting and Warzone, and is in the 70s and 80s
Yeah,
for
he did
viewership, right?
so well for that.
Well, no. I'm saying he went from zombies from like in the 150s to
Oh yeah.
200 going down, and you're like, and that's where I'm like, maybe this is pulling like a. This is where it's like it's weird because most of his content is all Call of Duty, right? So it's like
Yes.
most people that want to watch him are going to watch for Call of Duty. So now it's like he's kind of going down the aspect that I went down, but from like a TikTok aspect. Does that make sense?
So
Like
are
his
you talking about his TikTok content is not as much zombies anymore? Or are you talking about his Twitch content is not as
so no, so his Twitch is zombies,
Okay.
right? And
Mhm.
his TikTok is zombies and Call of Duty related.
Okay.
And then he didn't do it on Twitch, and now he dropped his viewership hard. I mean, he got partners, so it doesn't really matter anymore for his viewership, but that's the thing. Because I look at statistics. I checked all of his statistics and stuff like that. He even did he did a celebration stream for his partner stream, went up, and then it started going down. He was doing just chatting, then he did Warzone, and it evened out at like 80s, right?
Mhm.
And he averages around 150 to 200 on zombies.
Yes.
And what I'm trying to say is that on TikTok, he's had a million viewed TikToks,
Mhm.
100,000 viewed TikToks, Call of Duty based, zombie based, and now it's like he's kind of doing the aspect that I'm doing, but he's on a TikTok side where it's like maybe TikTok helped him grow, but now when he's starting to swap content, he's going to kill his viewership by doing that. Because I only did mine from Twitch because I got
Mhm.
lucky, obviously from like the boom, the zombie era boom, and then I
Yeah.
start doing variety, and then you drop down again. And obviously, he probably has a good basis of viewers that will probably watch him do whatever he wants, right?
Mhm.
But that's what I'm saying. Where it's like, does TikTok actually go that hard, or maybe it's just a Call of Duty thing, man? That's the thing. Maybe it does work for other categories, but for Call of Duty, because now he's a prime example of no matter how much you do on TikTok, it may not even come over to Twitch because he always plugs his Twitch in his videos, even the million viewed, 100,000 viewed ones. And at that point, that's a lot of kids and people watching
Yeah.
them. Like, yeah, I want to do that, but it doesn't come over, right?
Hmm.
Where it's like,
That's weird because I think you have a point with the Call of Duty thing. So there's somebody I watch on TikTok. His name's Papa Gut, and Papa Gut does political stuff on TikTok, and he does some like comedy stuff. And then he ended up making a Twitch account, and as soon as he started his Twitch account, he was getting like 100 to like 300 viewers, like
mhm,
constantly. He gets more viewers doing just chatting stuff, just talking about politics and watching videos and all that stuff than he does playing video games. So I think that's kind of the same thing with Jay-Z and other people, but in reverse. So instead of like so Papa Gut does more talking stuff on
mhm,
TikTok, he's going to get less viewers on Twitch when he does games instead of talking. And Jay-Z does more game stuff on TikTok, and he's going to
mhm.
get less viewers when he does a different game or talking on Twitch.
I
So,
think I feel like we came to I think there's a resolution with Twitch and Call of Duty. I
mhm,
think the viewership and the viewers are like set on
yes,
that game. And no
100%.
matter where you grow off from that, it's always set. And when you move away from that without growing your like personal audience, I guess I would call it personal audience, like the people that are there for you, it's
Mhm,
gonna affect you viewership wise.
yes.
Because I mean, I'm a prime example of that. Like I literally, like one of the highest from like the smaller streamer aspect, and then back down to like a reasonable like I kind of that's probably where I probably should be, right?
Mhm.
Versus like because I'm doing variety stuff and doing all this stuff where it's like, it's interesting because I'm so big in statistics and analytics stuff, and it's where it's like, stats and analytics don't lie, right? Like we all know that
Yeah.
shit. They don't fucking lie. So it's like what's there is there. And we have so much resources to help with that. And the best thing that I can say too, the reason I want to give like a kind of a resolution to that is the amount of followers that Call of Duty games and categories like bring in
Mhm.
is way too much for a small streamer. Like if you were rocking 30 views on Call of Duty, you could probably get like 15, probably 45 maybe followers a stream if you're just rocking that much. And that is too much. That's way too much for a stream. Like not even big streamers get that sometimes
I
because
don't think you can get that many followers or anything on a big game. Like I truly think if you're
Call of Duty
playing
is weird. Call of Duty
no.
is fucking weird with the follower shit. I swear it comes down to when you make that account and they like you pick the category and that's
Mhm.
who you're choosing, and the new accounts are putting it in. Because I like to check the account ages, and most of them are
Yeah.
brand new accounts getting followed. Obviously, it's not a bot. It's most people. Most would be like, "Oh yeah, I'm brand new to Twitch. What games do you
Yeah.
like?" Most people know Call of Duty. It's
Mhm.
like yeah. So
I
and yeah, go for
I
it.
I used to I swear back when I started streaming or at least like a year ago or so, I got all those people with the brand new accounts. Like when I first started and I
Those
was
aren't
really
bots.
small.
Don't feel bad too. Those are not
Yeah.
bots. You'll know the bots. The bots will be like, 50 at one time, 100,
Yeah.
1,000. I've gotten botted before too. But
Mhm.
it's like the ones where it's like every like 5 per hour where it's like, yeah, these are like actual people, but like
Mhm.
they don't talk, they don't show up anymore. They're just
Yeah.
there because that's just how it works. And I'm pretty sure that's exactly how it works.
Yeah, I used to ask people when I first started, when the zombies community was dead, and a good viewer average was like 10 or so. That was really good. Top of the category was like 10 to 15 viewers in Black Ops 2 when I started. I would ask people because I was curious. I would have maybe 5 viewers, 6 viewers. I was like, "How did you find my stream?" And a lot of people were saying that they just created their account and they like Black Ops 2 and they found my stream. And I found that
Yep.
super interesting. I found that really interesting. And yeah, like I don't know if they still do that where it
Yeah, I
automatically
don't know if
follows
Twitch does that
someone.
either because I haven't made a new account. I probably could test it out,
Mhm.
but like I don't
Eh,
shoot Call of Duty that much anymore, so it's like
yeah.
fuck it. Oh, and another thing too that I've kind of had to dealt with. I know we're going from TikTok to like this random shit again,
Mhm.
but um, I'm starting to lose more followers than I gain followers per stream. You know that?
I
And
heard something about that, yeah.
yeah, and I know exactly why. It's not because like it could be literally the content. It could be people just like getting a notification like, nah, fuck this guy doesn't stream zombies. Hell no, fuck this shit. But um, I just know how much Twitch works and stuff like that. Twitch works where like if you don't use your account for 6 months, they will delete your account, and at that point you're gone, right? Like all followers and stuff like that's gone. You know that?
Are you sure? I swear
Yeah,
I've been looking after there's a Twitch account named Big Mike and I'm pretty sure it's
yeah.
been inactive for super long time and it's still there every
I've
time I
been
look.
yeah. So I've been looking for Yoma as well, and they
Mhm.
haven't been active for years, right? But Twitch works really fucking weird, right?
Mhm.
It works super fucking weird. And a lot of what happens is the names, well, like like the names go in recycles every 6 months, right? If it's
Mhm.
inactive. That's why you're looking at Big Mike. I'm looking at Yoma, trying to get Yoma the name. 6 months is the period that it takes for the name to get recycled. And when the
Mhm.
name gets recycled, the channel is dead, right? Like there's no channel there. And when that happens, you lose your followers, right?
Mhm.
And the reason why I talk about it is because I'm losing more followers because I've been stuck at 36, I mean, at 6,600 and like 50s for the last 3 months straight up. I would get
Really?
up to 6660 and then go back down to 60, 650 within like a couple days, right? And it's not just because like I have to tell myself this mentally. I'm like, it's not because I'm doing bad content, right? It's not
Mhm.
that I'm being like an asshole or I'm doing, controversial shit. It's literally if I go back 6 months ago, okay, I was prime time zombies, right?
Yeah.
Pinnacle of shit. We hitting that shit. And then 6 months later, those people never show up. They don't go back on Twitch. They're done with Twitch. And I'm starting to lose them every day, every single day. Just
Mhm.
inactive accounts because that whenever it's inactive, they're gone. Like they know Twitch doesn't give a shit. They delete them, and that's just how it works, right? And sometimes you can get people that like don't like you anymore. They're like out because obviously it's their right to do that, right? I'm not faulting any of that shit. But then there comes a aspect that I've been seeing with Jay Z's channel as well, where he was like doing Black Ops 3 and stuff like that, and he's still losing followers, right? And I've seen that even in MC's channel, he's losing followers as well. No matter, and he's still streaming zombies, right? No matter
Really?
what. Yeah,
Cuz I swear
everybody's losing
Jay-Z's
followers
been
to zombies.
spiking.
Hmm?
Jay-Z has like over 10K I think now.
Right.
Like
But you can check
the
how many people lose
analytics.
followers? You can check who
Um
loses followers by like it literally tells you by per hour and stuff
mhm.
like that. And this goes back. It's such a conspiracy, but I swear to God, it's happening. It's Call of Duty, man. I swear to God, it's the zombies and Call of Duty categories that do this shit. They get the new account people because I mean, there is a statistic out there. I wish I could find it where every like 100th person that gets on Twitch stays. You know what that means? It's like if 100
That's
people make
it?
100 accounts, right? It's like basically like 1 or 2 people are staying on Twitch, but Twitch is big, so like if you use that in a bigger aspect, it's like a lot of people are coming in.
Yeah.
But people will abandon their account basically like probably the first week they're there. They'll just
That's so
abandon it.
weird.
Yeah. And it works like YouTube. It's just like using social media. It's
Mhm.
like, oh yeah, I used TikTok for like a day. I don't want to use it anymore. And then you just don't ever use it again. Like Instagram is that for me, where it's like I haven't used my Instagram in like a year. But
Mhm.
then imagine if they did a Twitch aspect of they delete your account after 6 months. My account would have already been gone by then, right? There'd be like and those are people out there like that. And Twitch is just like that because Twitch works in such a weird way where it's like you, the person, have to go out and find the people, right? You have to go find them. And some people are like, I don't know, I don't fight with people, I don't play as much games. I'm a normie, type of like I want to do this shit.
Mhm.
But that's how it works with Call of Duty because Call of Duty, we all know, is the most normal normie game out there. That's just how it is, right? Everybody fucking knows Call of Duty
Mhm.
and Warzone popping off, the new Call of Duty game, like all that shit. And then like every 6 months, I only started losing followers like the last couple months. And it's funny because 6 months ago, that's when I stopped. I mean, like, well, before I was in Black Ops 2, but now I'm doing variety stuff. And it
Mhm.
took a while for me to lose followers, but now it's like 6 months afterwards. Or I'm like,
Hmm.
that's weird, right? And I'm starting to lose more as time goes on, but then I'm starting to stagnate out. I'm starting to get like a way of just chilling.
Mhm.
And it works for I swear to God, it's gonna start happening to people, even if you're playing zombies, because people are abandoning their channels or they're just not coming back to Twitch.
I need to take a look at that because I look at my follower count a lot because I'm
Mhm.
curious. I don't think I've been dropping. I could be wrong, but I mean, I would assume that if
Well,
it
they're not
happened to
certainly gonna
you,
drop big. It's gonna drop like maybe 2 or 3 per stream, but then
Mhm.
you take a day off and you're like, "Wait, I'm down a follower count now. What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Like all the shit. I can give you links just to like show you what I'm working with because I still gain followers from
Mhm.
different games. That's how I know I'm still growing. Is that people are still finding my channel. Like new people keep staying, but then I lose the followers. So I'm only gaining I gain 4 followers a stream, and then I lose 3. So I get a net gain of 1 follower,
Yeah.
and that's where I go down this aspect of that follower count doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
Just like subscriber count on YouTube. No,
Mhm.
like the subscribe count, you can see a million subscribed channels still have low viewership, right?
Yeah.
Views. The views are basically like the biggest thing, and
Mhm.
trying to pull in new people. Unique. The biggest thing with Twitch is unique views and unique like people. That's what you're trying to pull in. Followers, that's cool and all. Like obviously, if they chat, they do that, but you're trying to pull in new people because that's the only way to grow. You
Mhm.
have to pull new people. You have to. That's just like that's the way to grow. And TikTok can work like that, but then TikTok can work as a, like, TikTok is a pick me up and put me down, go next video. And I feel like people treat that when they go from TikTok to Twitch, they work just like that. So
Yeah.
if they go there, you get your peak for a little bit, and then they immediately leave because it's like, ah, well, I got my shit, fuck it, I'm out, and then that's it. And they abandon their account. 6 months later, the follower is gone.
Hmm. Yeah, I think with TikTok, the important thing, you need to have big ass numbers if you want to see anything on Twitch because it's, let's say it's 1% of people that follow you on TikTok are going to actually watch you on Twitch. That means that you need to have a lot of followers to actually see a difference. So if you have 1 million followers and it's 1% of 1 million, that's like 10,000, I think.
There is a reason why big streamers nowadays use TikTok. It's not. I mean, they're farming more viewers, but it's
Mhm.
literally just getting their name out there. Like they may are
Yeah.
like Ludwig Miskiff, like all these people, just like, and even Hassan, they all use TikTok, and they may not even be growing from it, but it's just more of getting their name out there. It's like getting like more people just to like chill because a lot of them are overlapping with Twitch viewers and TikTok viewers. But then it's like when you're smaller, I mean, it's so weird because like people are like, it's easy just to give out easy advice just for like the high range, but when you're like small, there's no fucking way, there's no book and shit like that. So it's like
Mhm.
no matter if even if you do the right things, it still won't work, right?
Yeah.
That's just how it works. And no matter if you do the best thing, go play your game that you don't like, get the viewers you want, still you may not even be growing,
Mhm.
right? Like even though I was hitting my peaks of 120s and I've hit peaks even in the 200s, but like average wise, that doesn't mean you're growing, right? That just means like you're just hitting those at certain peaks. Because
Yeah.
all you have to do if you really want to test yourself out, play a game that's not that game. Tell me what happens. Tell me what happens when you go from zombies to maybe Minecraft. Tell me what happens. You tell me that you're growing. You tell me that everything that
Yeah.
you've been doing on zombies has been working out well. Tell me. Tell me what happens. But obviously there are some times where that does work,
Yeah.
where like you built that close knit shit. But the majority of times, it's never like that. It just does not work that all the time when you're growing that fast. That's why big streams take longer to grow than smaller streams. That's why like people take longer, like they stream longer, build more people, and then they eventually start getting more and more and more. And then there's like some other cases where outliers where they don't stream for long, but they get a lot of people, but then when they move, they lose it faster than they gained it. It's so much shit. And it's
Yeah.
like do you want to stream now with knowing all this shit? Like, it's like, oh my god, it's so easy. But then you want to start
Literally.
growing. Go on with all this shit. There's so much shit that you can just like there's just so much. There's
Hmm.
just so much. You're just like, yeah, dude. Like, it's not just paint your thing. You're good. Go for it. It's like, nah, dude. There's so much more if you do this right, wrong, like all this shit.
Dude, they should have a degree for streaming. There's so much shit. There's so much shit you can learn about streaming, about content creation, about like marketing your channel, about holding people in, learning analytics, how to analyze these statistics and use it in your favor. Like, there's so
That's
much
a good
shit.
leeway into college.
Yeah.
When I go down that, because I think we've talked enough. We're
Hmm.
probably end out with college if you want to do that.
Yeah. So, but in all seriousness, I don't know if they have a college major that has to do with content creation. They 100% should.
Digital marketing. Pretty sure it's just digital marketing.
Hmm.
That's what we probably try to talk about because it's all
Yeah.
about marketing. Streaming literally is marketing yourself.
Yeah.
Like all of it. Like
Hmm.
literally everything that you do is you. This is what people see you as. What's the first impression? That's literally marketing. Is the first impression of everything,
Yeah.
right? That's just how it is. Like if I went on your TikTok, I'm like, oh, this is Mike. Well, fuck this shit. Hell no. And then I go on your stream. And it's like you're completely different because that was a 5-second clip
Hmm.
versus watching you for hours. That's first impressions are everything.
Yeah. And the first impressions are people are going to be looking for different things in different places. The first impression on TikTok, they might be looking for a quick laugh. They might be looking for something specific there. And then let's say if you go to Twitch and you have your average Twitch viewer, their first impression, they're not necessarily going to be looking for something that's going to make them laugh their ass off or anything like that. They might just be looking for a chill place to hang out, have some chill music, playing a game you like. So these first impressions can be completely different in different places, and you need to learn how to cater to your specific audience in each location.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's this shit is all super interesting. I feel like we could talk about this
You
forever.
talk about a shit long time. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that'll bring us into our college discussion, what's going to be our one of our last topics for
Mhm.
the day. We still have one more,
This
but
is a long ass podcast, right? I'm
yeah.
pretty sure I'm gonna cancel my stream tonight for this shit. But it's fine though, because I do need to take. I usually take Saturdays off, so
Mhm. Okay.
yeah.
Dude, Mikey is typing into my chat right now.
Yeah,
Mikey is
spamming me in my Discord.
he said, "Whoa, I know you have OBS open, streamer. Did you take your birth control today?"
Mikey is spamming me because he's bored and wants me to stream, but like I'll do Sunday.
Yeah. Okay, okay, okay. So, in all seriousness, let's get on to our college discussion. So,
This is what I feel like you're like. I didn't really even bring this up at all, but I feel like this is like you. This is like your personal one that you want to talk about, right? I have no
mhm,
problem talking about it at all, but it's like I didn't really think about it, right? But
mhm.
you're thinking about it because I'm done with college, so it's like
Yeah.
shit, fuck this, like hey. But yeah, I feel like this is probably gonna do a lot with you, which I can give you easy like advice and other people. So
So I thought it would be interesting because a lot of people that you run into on Twitch are not college educated, at least in the zombies community. Like a lot of people you talk to either,
I
or
feel
at
like a lot of them
least,
are during or before. There's like never really postgraduates. That's what I've seen. I've done
yeah,
postgraduates or more
yeah,
people that don't go to college. And I'm not saying going to college makes you smart because
mhm.
I'll be honest, I've seen some fucking dumbass
Oh
people in
yeah.
college. So like college is not everything, right? But yeah.
No, yeah, because I on Twitch, a lot of like my friends, they don't go to school. They're either in high school or they decided not to go to college. But yeah, you don't see a lot of people post college, and there's not a lot of discussion, at least in my stream and other zombies players, about college. So Yoma is a college educated man with a degree, which I do not see on Twitch very often. So I wanted to ask him some stuff about college, about his experience. So first things first, Yoma, do you want to tell us what you studied in college and what you plan to do for a living after?
Sure. So I went to University of Tulsa, which is like my hometown, and it's a private university, very expensive, but it's very good, very good
Hmm.
university. You get a lot of connections. I think Dr. Phil even graduated from here and some shit like that, like all this shit. But basically, I went through a lot of majors, but I ended out graduating with a CIS, which is Computer Information Systems, and a cybersecurity minor, which people still call it a major because like a minor, and that's like I got enough education to be fine with that. But
Mm,
it's basically think of CS,
mhm.
but for business. Hence why I mean I was going to be a CS major, and I was like, nah, fuck that noise. And then they came out. It was MIS during that time, but now it's CIS. So I basically did all business courses, learned
Mhm.
how to code, everything computers, like all this shit. And basically, I don't have a job because I graduated in literally the worst fucking time to ever graduate in, like literally the worst time to ever graduate. But it's fine. But jobs that I can easily apply for, I can do like in any business job. I mean, I can do marketing, I can do human research, I can do like management. But the biggest one that like probably is the one that people are probably going to go towards is IT. I can easily do IT. Like that's
Mhm.
what my job can easily be, and that shit pays well. But
Really?
yeah, like I had an internship at Cox Communications in Atlanta, Georgia. I
Mhm.
did it was a cybersecurity and risk management or yeah, risk management intern. And I did so much shit, so much good stuff. But yeah. And it's like I'm a business major, but like it's a computer business major, if that makes sense. So it's like I know how to code. The best example I can give you is that CIS is basically the middleman. It's like the middleman between CS and then like the business because CS majors learn how to code and then like all the technical stuff, but they don't know
Mhm.
how to like transcribe it. Like they don't know how to like tell you or translate it, and
Yeah.
that's where I come in
Okay.
because obviously I'm the talker, I'm the business guy. I know everything about marketing, management, accounting, finance, like all this shit, right? And
Mhm.
then the technical aspect, I know about it, and the business people obviously have no fucking idea what they're talking about. Like corporate life, these high corporate end guys, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, like the IT shit, like the behind the scenes cybersecurity shit. They don't know what the fuck's going on.
Mhm.
Obviously, the CS people do, but then I'm the guy where it's like, all right, let me hand it over, let me do all this
Okay.
shit, and
Okay.
look over. I'm like the second wave of like if somebody coded out something, I look over it, hand it over, and it sucks because I kind of take all the credit, but that's how business works,
Mhm.
unfortunately. Where it's like people are like, "You did this?" Like, I mean, yes, I have to say that, but like, no, I have a team under me that do way more than me. Type shit. That's like how that makes sense.
Okay.
So
That
yeah,
makes a lot of sense. Sounds pretty interesting. You can get like a mix of both the worlds. You don't have to go too deep into like the CS side or too deep into the business side. You can find a
mhm.
middle ground.
And everybody
And
calls me dumb, especially on stream because I say the most dumb shit. It's
yeah.
mostly a persona. Like I do a lot of shit on stream just like as a persona because like it's more entertaining to be like a little bit sporadic and
Mhm.
kind of crazy. But like a lot of people don't realize like I have a fucking college degree. Like the
Yeah.
shit that college degree was not easy too.
Mhm.
Like it's a business degree, but it's not like those like typical atypical business degrees that people are like, oh yeah, just take your easy classes. Like, dude, I had to go through the fucking ringer for
Mhm.
like everything. I had to learn different coding languages, I had to go through all this shit. Obviously not to an engineer level. Engineers got it extra rough. That's next level. I didn't want to be an engineer. That was the last thing I wanted to be. And CS majors can be notified as being an engineer because they usually are in the same schools together, but like there's like different aspects. But
Mhm.
yeah, but yeah, my bad. I had something else to say, but I think you probably have another topic. Sorry.
So my major is like, so I want to be a doctor. Like, I don't know what kind of
You're gonna
doctor.
be a doctor. Holy
Yeah.
shit!
Yeah, I don't know what kind of doctor I want to be yet, but there's a few things that kind of stick
Why do
out
you?
to me. Why do I
Okay.
want to be a doctor?
Oh wait, for anybody that doesn't know, I used to be I worked at my university as a career services expert,
Mhm.
so I know how to write resumes, cover letters. I've done interviews. I've changed people's majors and all this shit.
Mhm.
First question I literally was gonna ask you was like, if you want to be a doctor and you don't know what type of doctor you are, I would not even go down that aspect. Like most people are like they are dead set of what doctor thing they want to be because that's like that is some school. That is some fucking shit that honest to God, fuck school. Hell no. Fuck that noise, man. But obviously you have different aspects and obviously we're not the same. So but continue.
So with me, I think being a psychiatrist, like that seems super interesting to me. Um also peds. pediatric
Mm,
doctor. That sounds interesting, and also sports med. So all
okay.
three of those things sound really interesting to me. And also with my major, there's no pre-med major anywhere, I don't think. It's just you take a major and you go on this pre-med path that will set you up for medical school. So my major is called neurobiology, physiology, and behavior,
Mhm,
and I just take this pre-med track. I have to take specific classes, and then I should be ready for med school by the end.
mhm.
And within this major, you can pick a specific track. There's the neurobiology, physiology, and there's one more. I don't know, but I'm looking at the physiology track, and within that track, there's a lot of really interesting courses. I just looked before I picked my major because I wanted to take something that would genuinely interest me. I don't want to be taking college classes that don't interest me. Like in high school, you're forced to take specific shit, and half the time you're not going to like it. With college, you can pick whatever the fuck you want.
Yep.
And the classes for my major seemed super interesting. There was some like nutritional science stuff, and there's just a bunch of really interesting stuff that I liked. So I already had it in my mind. I thought that being a doctor would be interesting. I like to. It sounds dumb, but I do like helping people. Not like,
There's always people like that. I'm not
yeah.
the big guy like that. When it comes to like helping people, it's like not that I don't want to help people. Obviously, it's like I still have empathy and sympathy, type of shit like that. But like when you said about the psychiatrist shit, I was going to go into college studying psychology to become a
Mhm.
psychiatrist as well because I took high school credits for that and I fucking absolutely loved it. Hence the reason why I talk about all this like deep shit and like
Mhm.
mental everything. I'm all about that shit and finding out about people. But then I started looking at like how much courses and like all this shit. I was like, yeah, dude. And then the jobs on top of that, I was like, nah. Like there it does come to an aspect where it's like I'm not like I'm very technical in sense like that, but at the same time, it's
Mhm.
like like I mean, I don't think my major is like wasteful at all, but like I would have chosen a different major if I could, if I had like an infinite amount of money
Mhm.
because I'm big into English as well. So I'd probably take English and psychology. But then those are literally the two majors where it's like, bro, like English, you ain't gonna get shit for that shit. Go become a
Mhm.
teacher, types like that. Unless you go like super high up. And then psychology is like you still have to get lucky with a lot of shit and go through a lot of classes. And
Mhm.
that's where I started finding out the whole business aspect stuff. And and obviously I've always been good with technology and computers. I was like, okay, fuck it, let's do CIS. And then the major or the minor for cybersecurity just came through. And not only that, it's like even if I don't want to be in it, I don't like the IT world. I'm not a big fan of IT world. It's just nonstop bullshit. Just so much like lingo, so much everything. It's just like it annoys me, right?
Mhm.
I've already worked corporate life with that shit. And what's so good about my major is like it's a business major. So I can do a
Yeah.
lot of other shit. And that's why I was like,
Mhm.
yes, thank fucking God. I did all the marketing shit. I did the, human resource. I did management, accounting, all this shit. And I'm like, obviously I can't be a fucking accountant because that's some next level shit or financer or something like that. But I can still do a lot of business and stuff and just easily put myself in there because it's business major because it's a computer one.
Mhm.
But yeah, like I've sometimes regretted being my major, but I'm like, dude, it's either that or still being in school right now, still trying to do or be an English major, graduate and be like, nothing happening because like you're a fucking
Yeah.
English major or a psychologist or psychology where it's like you're still going and then you
Mhm.
don't even know if something's gonna happen with that. And yeah, but I can always still go back if I want to do psychology shit in English, but like I guess something very practical, as practical as it can be, but like super good.
Okay. Yeah, it really does sound interesting, the major you picked, but also I understand what you're saying about how like psychology and English sounds interesting, but like when you get into the real world, how is that going to work out? It might be a little bit tough.
That's where sometimes like picking your major is big about like what you feel and what you can excel at.
Mhm.
And a lot of people are like, I want to excel at like, English and psychology, but then there's like always people that are above that. There's always people that are like, yeah, dude, I excel at all of that. And they still don't get anywhere from that shit. And a lot of it can be very luck based, which sucks. But then you have like other majors where it's like, yeah, your job placement is easy. Like you're like a CS major, like you're wanted everywhere. No matter
Yeah.
what you do, like you will do what you were like, destined to program to do, and shit like that. And English majors, it's like, I mean, you're like thin. Like there's like just so little that you can do. And if you're looking at the high aspect of it, just like how we talked about before, it's like that's an outlier. Like that's an
Mhm.
outlier shit. Like, man, you're like that's hard. Trying to get
Yeah.
up there, that is hard. Like, good job. Like that, and a lot of it can be luck too. And then psychology can be just like that as well, because there's a lot of people doing it. And it's like, is it needed in your country, your state, your county, like all this shit? And you may be like, yeah, it is, but it's like, is there somebody else already doing it
Yeah.
before you? Why would they want a postgraduate person to do that? It's like there's so much stuff,
Mhm.
And then you're like, and then you have my major where it's like, oh yeah, you do IT stuff, bro. Fuck, we need a lot of IT people. Fuck that shit. That's easy. Just be under
Yeah.
somebody else and learn from them. It's like that's simple, right? That's like super practical, and it so happens to pay more than both those majors as well, which is crazy.
Mhm.
But yeah,
That's one thing with being a doctor. Like people are always going to need doctors, That it's not once you the problem isn't getting out of med school and finding something to do. The problem is getting through your undergrad and med school in the first place. Once you're out of there, you're fucking set. Like yeah, you have your residency that you have to do, but you're
mhm,
already set at that point, man. Everybody's going to need a doctor at some point. It's not like you have to move to a specific place to be a doctor. You can probably be a doctor anywhere. And even and with cities that have a high population, you probably have an even better chance of being a doctor because they need more because there's more people there. So I think it is a really important career path, and once you get past med school, you're set, but getting to that point is going to be extremely difficult, like extremely
mhm.
difficult. But I mean, I like learning stuff. I fucking hate online school, but I like learning stuff. I like going to
I understand.
class. I like chemistry a lot. I feel
Ugh,
I
God, bro, chemistry, hell no. That shit just never connected with me. Like, I don't think it's stupid at all. It's probably one of the most valuable courses. But that was my first C I've ever gotten in high school, and I still cry about it now. I'm like, God damn, dude. Like, chemistry just never worked with me at all. Like, I just could never. But I'm English though, fucking literature, like all that shit. I am like balling on, even
Mhm.
some math courses as well. But fucking chemistry. Dude, I don't know what the fuck happened. I love biology as well, but chemistry just bent me over, bro. I don't know how to say it. It just bent me over, and I have no idea what the fuck. I mean, obviously, there's still like good things I want to learn from it, but like, good God, congrats on knowing that
I
very well.
love it, dude. I don't know what it is. High school chemistry was amazing. I thought it was so interesting, and I had a really good teacher, so that helped. I can definitely imagine not liking it if I had a shitty teacher, but I actually got oh my worst grade ever. First quarter of college, I got a C in chemistry because just online school, it's so hard to be
Oh,
motivated.
yeah,
It's so hard to pay attention completely in the lectures. Like I always took notes during the lectures, but you're not all there always. It's hard to stay completely focused and actually retain
yeah.
all that stuff.
I
Yeah.
got super fucking lucky.
Hmm.
Like, there's like so many lucky aspects of like, I mean, I didn't have to do that much online school. I mean, I only had to do online school for like the last like 2 months, right? And most of my professors had no idea what the fuck to do. Like, so at that point, like,
Oh.
I didn't have to show up to classes. They didn't care,
Hmm.
or they didn't have to have a camera on. There was nothing, no mic, nothing. He just did it. Probably like 20-minute courses that you should last like an hour or 30, because they're like, you
Jeez.
just get through it really fast because like, you're just doing it, right?
Hmm.
So it was my senior year was a blast. And by that time, there were no restrictions, so I'm still going out and partying. That's basically like there was no restrictions. So I was like, my friends are like, dude, we don't have to go to class. We just wake up, just turn it on, and we're good. We got an attendance, right? That's how we worked. And that's how it was. It was fucking amazing. Just
Oh, you
partying, did our shit.
fucker.
And then, okay, you may be like, that's so lucky. Then I graduated.
Hmm.
Great major. Oh, wait, what happened to all the jobs? Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, my interview was cut. Wait, all these interviews I had set up are gone? Wait, your company's wait, you're making sure that your company's, declining with people in that? Oh, that's crazy. Where do I come in? Yeah, we don't want you. You're a post grad. We need somebody more expert. I'm like, oh. And then it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. Because like, when they cut people off, they need the best of the best people because that's who they're gonna be really paying a lot. So if
Yeah.
they have a lot of post grads like me, just a college graduate, like, "Hey, I wanna learn," they're like, "We don't have the resources. We're losing money by doing this for this." And they just do all that shit. But obviously it's starting to stagnate out, or it's starting to, balance out now because, America's a little bit fucked in a lot of ways. But, because, they're like restrictions, like, COVID's still here, but we're like, let's open shit, dude. Fuck it, right? Like, go to your jobs and see what happens.
Mhm.
So jobs are starting to come back out, and I'm probably gonna start applying pretty soon. But 2020 was the roughest year to. I mean, literally, the economy crashed. Like the
Mhm.
economy went terrible, and for me, I was fine because obviously my parents loved me and all this, so I got to stay here. That's the reason why I'm still here,
Mhm.
and all that stuff. So I got lucky per se, but I didn't get lucky because I didn't get a job. And a lot of all my friends too, like probably 90% of my friends lost their postgraduate jobs because like most people get jobs before that you graduate. That's why I had interviews right when I was graduating.
Yeah.
So like, oh yeah, you got to get a job, pay your shit. But then all my friends literally lost all their jobs, all of them. They're like, yeah, bro, you're a post grad. We don't like we need other people. We were getting rid of all of our other people too. We're trying to decline or thin out, and most people don't talk about it because obviously most Twitch don't really talk about it because most of them probably do that or you're still in college. So
Mhm.
it's easier just to, point like, oh, dude, just get a job, right? Dude, that shit is hard for a post grad, but
Yeah.
it's starting to come back here and there. But then most companies still pull this thing where they want you go through it and they're like, oh, we still can't actually do this, but we'll put you on hold.
Mhm.
And that's like, okay, I've been on hold for almost a year for a company because they're like, yeah, we're waiting for COVID to, flow, like blow over. And everybody's like, yeah, 2021 is going to be the year, right? When it turns over, I'm like, is that so? It's like, yeah, is it gone? Is it what's going to happen? What's happening here? And yeah, so me having a fun senior year, I had to go through a lot of shit as well. But I did grow my stream. It was like the
Mhm.
best time to do it. So I had a great experience. I have a good audience now, or I have a base. It's just like I'm one of those guys where it's like, even if something bad happens, I try to take something good from it, and that's just
Yeah.
how it was. I didn't have a job, but I was chilled out. I mean,
Mhm.
I gained weight. That's the thing. I was working out before COVID, and then we had our first COVID case at our gym the day before when I worked and shit. I was like, "Oh, fuck me," right?
Mhm.
And they quarantined stuff like that. This is before, anything happened. It's like the calm before the storm, right? Just like, things are about to happen. And I was like, okay, well, shit, I'm not gonna work out. And then stream happened, and then internet happened, or the restrictions started happening, and I started gaining weight, gained a little bit too much weight, and then all this shit. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
experience. So I don't have any experience with the online school this deep. I only had it.
Mhm.
My experience is nothing like it is now. Mine was just like, let's just have a class. Fuck it. Who cares? Kind of shit. But now yours is like, we're serious now. So I'm like, I have
Yeah.
no idea.
So for me, it was really, really weird. I know this will take us off of the college topic, but so for us, we were just in normal class, senior year of high school, and then we start hearing about COVID, and our teachers start preparing this. The administration had our teachers prepare just in case we had to go for online school. So they were all doing shit, getting lesson plans, just deciding what they were gonna do if we went online, and then we went online. They told us we're going to be off for 2 weeks and we're going to have online school from then until like 2 weeks. Then we're going to come back. So we start doing online school. We instantly are set. Like we don't have any bullshit waiting around. We don't have opportunities for people to ditch class. They're taking attendance every class. They have a set schedule. Everything's set in place there. And then after those 2 weeks, they tell us, all right, we're going to have to be staying home another 2 weeks. And then after those 2 weeks, then they say a month. And then after spring break, and then they told us we're never coming back. And it was just such an abrupt thing. Just going from hoping that we get to go back, or actually going from being excited that we get to be off from school and be home, to slightly hoping that we can come back to school soon, to just having no hope at all and just being done and having our like senior year thrown just completely thrown away. Yeah, online school, man. I don't know. I'm not a fan. I'm,
I
I'm
dodged
not.
a bullet.
You
I dodged.
really
I had
did,
a full
dude.
college experience. I had all that shit. I was like, and my senior year was the most lax.
Hmm.
Well, it was kind of lax, but it was still like scary because you're about to graduate, you got to get a job, you got to do all this stuff. And then 2020, I'm not gonna lie, I talked about this with my mom because my mom and my dad are like super big supporters for me and stuff like that. They like when I stream because it's like it's fun and it's
Hmm.
like nothing bad per se.
Yeah.
Um, the thing that I told them, I was like, obviously COVID is happening stuff like that. My parents about COVID is like, I don't even want to get into that shit, but I told them, I was like, this is kind of like a good send off because I've never had a break from school, right?
Yeah.
I've had not mental breakdowns. I've had like breakdowns, like anxiety attacks, stuff like that from
Mhm.
school, because like super stuff like that. Never had a break, right? I mean, the summers I had one summer break. It was my freshman year because I couldn't get an internship. But then the next summer I got an internship, and then the
Mhm.
summer after that, so I'm always working, right? I'm always
Yeah.
doing something, and I was like, it's so crazy that like 2020, it was like I didn't have a graduation party. Where I was like, I don't really care for that. It's like I whatever, right? But I
Mhm.
didn't get to see my friends. That's probably the only thing that really hurt. But I was like, 2020 and like this like whole year, I kind of needed this, like dead ass. Just like chill out, focus on content, focus on me playing games myself. I actually needed that. And I've talked about this before. If I could have done college again, I would have taken a gap year from when I graduated high school, take a year off, and then go into college.
Mhm.
Because going straight into college, like, put me under so much pressure. I'm like, God damn, dude, I can't fucking breathe. Right? My high school was like going in and out, just doing this shit. I couldn't fucking breathe. I just kept doing more and more. You get thrown in with the orientation and all this. You just like go in and find out your major and like all the classes and yada 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 and all this stuff. Keep up your grades, doing fraternity stuff, like all this stuff, right? And I'm like, I just don't have a break. Never had a break until I graduated. And then like, and the funny thing is like I didn't have to look for a job because none of the jobs were hiring, right? Like they
Yeah.
were you're just going against people that are like super experts and stuff like that. I'm like, maybe this is a fucking like a sign, just chill out, play your games, have good content. And honest to God, 2020 was a great year for me. It really was. Like not even just stream wise, just more of like, mentally stuff. I was like,
Mhm.
damn, dude, felt good. I was like, Jesus Christ, I needed just like that. Not worry about waking up. I need to study. I have homework. Oh my God, none of that. That shit was cut. I don't have to worry about paying bills right now, right? And like waking up super early. I'm just like, I've never been able to do this, right? Just wake up what time I want. That's why I woke up super late today.
Yeah.
I just wake up when I want. I'm like, that people don't realize how like whenever you get into the real world type of shit, it's gone. Because I had it during the internships where you wake up at like 7, 6:30 a.m. Then you work all the way till 5:30, stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I'm like, damn, just being able to chill, just like, hey, we're chilling. Don't worry. Like obviously the world's fucking crashing and shit like that, but like I can just stay here. I get to stay with games. Get to stream. It's just like it was like a what's the word where it's like there's like a like you look on the other side, it's like, thank God. Just like you take a little slice of it and like, oh, we're chill. It's fine. No one's expecting me to have a
Mhm.
job. We're chilling. And my parents aren't kicking me out. They obviously like they understand there's nothing bad. And I'm just like, it's like a godsend from that shit. I was like, thank God. Just got to chill. So
Yeah, it sounds like a nice break. I don't think my
big
parents would ever let me take a gap year. Every time, like they say, or every time we talked about somebody who took a gap year, because I know plenty of people that have in the past or that did this year, they're just like, "Oh, gap years are so stupid. If you take a gap year, you're never gonna want to come back." And
which is and that's a good thing, right? If
mhm.
you notice that you don't have to go to college to make it in life, bro, you're winning. Like
Yeah,
straight up. And that's where it's like I don't understand people are like, yeah, you need to go to college. There are certain things, obviously, if you're becoming a doctor,
yeah,
yeah, you gotta go to school, right? If you're gonna be a psychiatrist, yeah, you gotta go to school. But if it's like even some IT departments, you don't even have to have a college degree to get past that shit. It's more of like the experience you have. A
hmm,
lot of business majors are like that, where it's like you don't really have to go to a lot of the shit. There's some certain things like accounting where it's like, there's like super other stuff, but there's other things where it's like management. You don't really have to have a full college degree for that shit. And there's like so many different aspects of things where it's like, if you know how to make it without going to college, you're winning life. You're
yeah.
doing great. But then there's like other things where you don't. But that's probably
Mhm.
where they're trying to go down is like the aspect of like what you're wanting to do, you have to go to college for. So
Yeah, it's so weird though at this point. Like maybe like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, bachelor's degree, you're chilling. You can get whatever job you're looking for, you're good. Nowadays, bachelor's degree isn't shit.
not
You
even
need your
yeah.
master's degree now. And then that just brings you into a loop of debt if you don't have a lot of money, or spending 8 years, an extra 4 years of doing school that you weren't planning on doing before, and that's not good for your mental health.
Yeah.
And it makes you think, like, do I have to go to these measures to be
You do
successful
not.
in life? You got to think, like, what can I do to be happy in life? What do I need? Are there jobs I can do without having to go to school so many years? Because school really isn't for everyone. And I
Right.
came to
I
that.
fucking hate school. School was not made for me when I first got in high school.
Mhm,
Like, my mom's a good example of, like, she wanted to be a psychiatrist. She was taking, she had to quit college because she, like, a lot of personal stuff like that, but she was
mhm,
going for psychology, so, like, I got a lot of aspect from that, and high school was, like, kinda rough, but it was fun at the same time, and then college really put me into perspective of, like, "Damn, I'm having no breaks here. This
yeah,
shit's like" but then I had a lot of fun too, because like, that was my biggest aspect of like, dude, if I'm gonna do this shit, I'm gonna have fun while I do it. And I had
mhm,
a blast. But it really does give you the aspect of like, man, for all the stress and all the day, the only reason why I went to this college was because of the scholarships, and it's still a really good school. And I'm Native American, so a lot of that shit was fucking hella paid off.
mhm,
But and I still have some debt, but it's not like crippling debt. It's not
yeah,
like I can't do it. It's I'm chilling, right? Like it's fine. But it's just more of like, yeah, you that's where I probably if I would have done a gap year, I probably would have worked, earned some money, and then just went back into college, be like, yes, now I understand why this college degree probably meant more. But then I learned what a college degree really meant when I went through internships where it's like, damn, the shit that I know is like bare minimal to get to this fucking job.
mhm,
And I'm getting paid more than people that are like doing way harder work, right?
yeah.
It's like I'm like feels a little lopsided, but welcome to fucking capitalism. There we go.
So what can you do at this point? Like we all want to think ideally that you shouldn't have to go to college, but what can you do besides those outliers we're talking about, like some Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg, all that kind of shit? What can you do without a degree?
Graduate college or Bill Gates, I think I'm pretty sure Mark Zuckerberg didn't like I feel like one of them quit college, right? Didn't
Yeah,
Mark
they all
Zuckerberg?
like dropped out of
Yeah,
college.
so
All
like
these big
that's
CEOs.
that should say something, right? The most rich people in the world. That's kind of crazy.
Hmm.
I mean, obviously smart comes into a lot of stuff, but like I'm just saying, like, bro, like that's a
Yeah.
lot of damn.
Yeah, but obviously not everyone can start up a company and be successful. A
Right.
lot of people will fail. But realistically, what can you do without a college degree to survive somewhere that is actually expensive? Like here in well, I live right now, I'm in
Trade
Sacramento.
schools.
But
People don't get taught trade schools. A lot of people don't. A lot of people like a lot of people that usually get look at trade schools are like, ah, no, you're just like being a welder and stuff like that. Some trade schools are fucking high tier shit, where it's like the person that like went through college to get that degree, you're basically probably more, you're actually way more experienced, and you have a better chance of getting the job than they do. That's pretty much it.
but I
Trade
live
schools are pretty big.
I'm from the Silicon Valley, like
Mhm.
one of the most expensive places in the world
Jesus
probably.
Christ. I'm
So
from Oklahoma, bro. I have no experience in that shit. Jesus
s-
Christ.
so here you are fucked if
Mhm.
you aren't an engineer, a doctor, way up in like the high tech industry. You're fucked. Like you cannot
So
work.
that gives me the aspect of why the fuck even live there then,
I don't. I
right?
like it. I like it. And
I mean, obviously, if you like, you
mhm,
take advantage of it and like you're part of it, it's like easier to do that. But I'm saying for
yeah,
like a lot of people, they're like, let's move to LA, let's move to California, let's do this shit, right?
yeah,
And then
no,
they realize it's like, oh fuck, I
no
could have actually done
chance.
that to a different state,
Mhm,
probably manage my life, do it better, probably get more money from doing that shit. And that's where you go in the aspect of like, what do you do without a college degree? You got to start looking at like it's gonna sound I go back to logical. Don't go for the fucking super high end shit, bro. I hate
mhm,
to say this, but like not everybody's just like, yeah, fuck it. Hey, yo, dad, give me a loan of $1 million. I can do this. Like, no, you gotta work for that shit, right?
yeah.
You just want to skip through it. And sometimes really just go into like the privileged stuff where it's like where you're born, if you have this available, this available, that available. But like in overall aspect, everybody's like you gotta like really think what you've got and what you can do. And that's why when I got the college degree, I was like, okay, I'm not going back to college, right? I don't like school. I'm done
Mhm,
with school. What am I getting to get the most use out of what I went for? And I'm like,
mhm,
bro, a fucking business degree in computers? Holy shit. Like that shit. I'm like, okay, well, goddamn, yeah, I'm gonna do that then. Even if I'm not the biggest fan of doing my major, that shit can carry on forever, right?
yeah.
And I'm like, I'm fine with that.
Mhm,
Hell yeah. Because that is a credential that will stay with me forever, right? And I'm just like, yeah, and that's where I'm like, I guess I went to college, but if I didn't go to college, I would probably be doing a startup business somewhere. My
Mhm.
dad's a business major or business guy, stocks. He's a stockbroker as well. Like I'm big into that shit, but like I'd probably do something around that. I always have something to do when it comes. I know how to make money. That's
Mhm.
probably my best thing I can say is I know how to make money in so many different avenues, and that's why I don't care for Twitch subs and stuff like that because like I just feel weird trying to ask for people for money. It
Yeah.
feels weird.
No, that makes sense. Um, Honestly, a lot of people can't understand. Well, I can't even understand why do people give people money on Twitch. Like, I don't understand how some people like take Jay
Good
Z
question.
for example. Take Jay Z for example. He has
Oh,
people
dude,
that will
bro,
gift 1,000 subs.
I talked about this,
It's
bro. He has
five
like
thousand dollars.
3,500 subscribers, bro. There are fucking Twitch streamers with 4, 5, 6,000 viewers that still have less subs than that,
Oh yeah, it's
bro. He
crazy.
is in the hundreds of viewers. What the fuck?
He has
What the
people
fuck?
that individual people that gift 1,000 subs. Like somebody in this last month, I'm pretty sure gifted 1,000 subs. That's paying for you guys that don't know. That's paying $5,000 to
And that's
your
per month
favorite
too. If you
streamer.
want to keep it going, that's the
Like
thing.
I
That's like
don't understand how. Like even if you have to be rich as fuck or
I'm
stupid
jealous.
as fuck.
Holy
Dude,
fuck,
I'm
dude.
jealous. I've never had subs. I've never had a big sub count on Twitch ever.
The highest I had was 290 something. That was prime time Black Ops 2, but now it's like dropped off. But I still have people like doing that stuff. But
Mhm.
yes, I've never had that level. That is like that's literally the level of making that a job. Like that you can suffice. Like you'll
Dude,
be
you could buy a
sufficient for
car
like.
with that shit. With just sub money, he could buy a used car.
I mean, I was like, God
It's
damn. I was like, dude, I don't know how the fuck you do. I was like, dude, what do I have to do to get an oil prints like that? Like somebody just fucking throw me, bro. I'm like, fuck it, dude. I'll wear scampy clothes. I don't give a shit. Fuck it.
That's all that that's Twitch RNG right there, dude.
It
That's
is Twitch RNG. The only way to do that, the reason why people give money is mostly because like it's connections, even if it's by money. The best analogy I can give is like a parent trying to be nice to you by buying you things. But it's like not in that aspect, it's more of just like it's a connection that like builds. It's like if I don't know how to
Mhm.
communicate with you to get to there, I'm gonna do it the best way that I can probably do it. Here's money, and then you're all like, "Oh, hey, yo, what's up, dude?" And then
Mhm.
that's connection. It works. Unfortunately, it works. Well, when I say unfortunately, fortunately, it works for a lot of girls on Twitch. It does.
Yeah.
That's a big thing where it's just like of the internet. A lot of lonely dudes out there like, "Yo, a female." Shit. And obviously talking in chat's not gonna do shit.
Mhm.
How about my wallet? Hmm. And honestly, I don't feel bad for the girls. I mean, I don't feel bad for anybody because it's like, dude, that's the system, bro. That's
Mhm.
just the game. I like, yeah, I'll play that game. Fuck it. It's
I
only
get
whenever you take advantage of them personally. That's the
yeah.
different thing. But if it's just on stream, it's like, dude, I hate to say it, but you're not forcing anybody. That's the crazy thing. It's like people feel like, oh, that should not be allowed. Like, bro, I hate to say it, but like you're not in control of anybody. She's not even in control of them. That's just them doing them, right?
Mhm.
Just it's crazy. But then that's where I go into like if it's like manipulating and then like personal shit where it's like
Yeah.
that's different, but that's still not even illegal, right? It's
Mhm.
just looked down
It's
upon.
just kind of
Just
fucked up.
yeah, and it's just like I mean, what the fuck am I gonna do? Stop it! No, you can't do that. Stop. Like,
Yeah.
bro, I don't fucking care. You're getting that shit, like, right? And that's where people just get way too much into people's lives, streamers' lives, where it's like, dude, fuck it, dude, just let them do your thing. Like,
Mhm.
sorry.
I get donating and stuff to a certain extent, I get maybe giving your favorite streamer like a couple subs per month or something like that. Maybe splurging one moment in time because you're feeling generous. But like once you get to spending $100 or $1,000 or fucking $5,000 in a goddamn month, I don't get it. How?
And
Dude, my
I'm gonna
best
say this.
friends on Twitch.
It's gonna sound so degrading to Jay Z. It's gonna sound so degrading, but I'm not trying. It's like I'm just gonna play it. So somebody is giving you, like I'm gonna say, like Jay Z, you're giving
Mhm.
giving you $5,000 worth of subs, right?
Mhm.
And all you do, cat, is play high rounds. All you do is high round. Okay. I know that sounds super degrading. It's like, oh yeah, I'm not looking to his personality and stuff like that, but I'm just like, there is nothing that you're doing. I hate to say that is so crazy to get that crate like that much, right? I've watched his channel, but he's like interacts, stuff like
Mhm.
that. But like, let's be real here. There are a lot of other people doing the exact same
Yes.
thing, and it's not trying to be degrading. That's just the reality of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, good for him. Like, that's. I mean, I can't be mad, right? Like, goddamn, bro. Like, holy shit, throw some over, But yeah, that's how it is. It's just the reality of it is like streamer life is very like simple in a lot of ways. And since when it comes to that, like the high level is like, oh my god, you're just playing a video game at high rounds and you're getting this much money. Holy shit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
dude, goddamn, how easy can your life be? And then, that's a high level of like not looking into the person and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a whole other discussion. But yeah.
Yeah, I've talked to Nick about this for you guys on that are watching or listening to the podcast. Nick Zombies, he's a zombie streamer, one of my friends. So there's people that can be doing the same thing. Just one person makes a lot of money and one person makes no money. They could have the same amount of viewers, just one happens to get more subs or bits or
A good
donations than the
example
other.
is whenever Nick and I we were both streaming zombies stuff like that. He had way more subs than me, but
Oh
I had way
yeah.
more viewers. It was the
Yeah.
fucking flip
It's
flop. I'm like,
so
all right, what
weird.
the fuck?
I've been trying to think about it. Like I can at certain times I can pull viewers, but I've never been the kind of guy to get a lot of donations, subs or anything. My
Same.
top gifted subs is 61. My most gifted subs is 61. And then I meet people that can get like Nick, he got this guy Voltage in 1 month that gave him like a couple hundred subs. And I was just like, what the fuck? What am I doing wrong that I can't get anywhere close to this? Like,
And that's why I
yes.
never focused on subs because it
Mm-hmm.
sounds like I'm like shilling and stuff like that. And that's why I've
Yeah.
always focused on the growth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I probably came farther by doing that shit. Just by like, focus on growth, be like, okay, let's try to do this shit. Fuck the subs. I don't give a shit if you sub or not, because that's just not my thing. But
Mm-hmm.
the only time I ever get big subs is when I do something drastic. Like, like I remember New Year's, I got subscribers who's like, it's New Year's, right? I'm streaming New
Mm-hmm.
Year's. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
fuck yeah. And then the biggest one was when I got the world record, like a couple
Oh
times,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And the next month comes over and I lose 100+ subs right there on the spot. I'm like, that's just the way the fucking cookie crumbles, right? But then you have
Yeah.
Nick over here and JC where it's like, oh, the next month comes in. Oh, well, we're gonna renew it for you. Don't worry. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck, man? Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Renew my shit. What are you guys doing? Like, what the fuck's happening here?
Yeah.
But then I'm
Like,
like, fucking like, all right, it's out. And that's where I'm like, it can become toxic. Obviously, it's funny to laugh at, but some people like take it serious with like, oh my god, those subs are my money. Like that's like what I have to survive on. That's where it's like I don't want to be down that
yeah.
aspect.
Mm-hmm.
That's scary. Relying on other people for money versus like you're not working a 9 to 5 where it's like it's a salary based.
Mm-hmm.
You're working off of like the
Tips.
generosity of people. Where I'm like,
Yeah.
and I happen to have a personality where it's like I banter very hard, and some
Mm-hmm.
people take it very offensive, or they're like,
Yeah.
I don't like you anymore. I'm like, why the fuck, man? They're like, whoa, like right there to be like a stopping point, like, whoa, I don't supposed to talk to me like that. And like, oh, I'm like, my bad. Sorry. That's like, that's how it works. I guess it works with personalities too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, like I don't rely on the Twitch money to survive. I don't make much of it, and I also don't get butthurt when people don't sub. I'm just
right.
very curious. What is it about certain people that why do they get more subs and donations and stuff than others? Is it because of their personality? Is it just because these people happen to find their stream and they're generous people in general? Or is it just like in certain games, if
I
you're
think
playing a game catering towards casuals, you're going to get more. Because that's what Nick said. Nick says a game like Cold War, you get more casuals, and casuals are the ones that are going to be donating.
I think
And
you explained all of it. I think it's
mhm,
all of that. I think it's
all of it
literally
combined.
all of that shit. Just
Yeah.
completely all of it. You got the
Mhm.
personality. Even your personality is not even the greatest, right? Just the luck of the draw. I feel like it's a lot of it's just RNG, just real
Yeah.
life RNG. I don't know what the fuck that's called. Just by luck, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's literally just by luck, and the more it happens, I feel it's just luck. I feel like there's just like the right target, the right personality, which can go into like different aspects and stuff. The
Mhm.
right game. It's just a lot of stuff, and then you have just the luck of just people have fucking money just flowing out of their wallet. So
Mhm. Yeah. And for me, my parents always ask me, why do you stream so much? And I don't stream for money only, but my argument with them because the only way they can see streaming making sense is like financially. So if I'm
Mhm.
making money, then they kind of understand it. So my argument with them was the more so with making money on Twitch, you could stream for 10 minutes and make $50, and you could stream for 8 hours and make $0. So it's all about luck. So if you stream more and more consistently, you have a higher chance of getting that person that's going to give you all those donations and all those
Well, you can go
subs.
against that because you're kind of contradicting yourself on that. Or you could stream less and make more than streaming more inconsistent.
But that's
And I'm
just luck though at that point.
it is luck. It's
You're
all
re-
luck. But you just tried to say it wasn't luck. You're trying to say that if you do that, it's gonna work, but it doesn't work like that though.
but you have more of a chance of getting lucky.
Do you though?
Like if you flip, like let's say
I mean, if
you
I flip a coin right now, your chances are exactly the same as everybody else. No matter if you stream 4 or 8 hours, even
Mhm.
if you stream more as well,
Yeah,
it's all the same.
but maybe
So
there's
there's no
that
more.
guy
You
that
can't say that there's more. There's no
maybe
more.
maybe there's that guy that comes on Twitch every day at 7:53 p.m. or every Thursday at 7:53 p.m. You don't know this. This guy donates to everyone that he finds streaming Call of Duty Zombies at this point in time.
Mhm.
You're not going to know this though. So maybe you happen to start up your stream around that time and get that guy to come in and find you.
Okay, I see that. I
Maybe
see
you
that.
don't. But if you stream every single day at different times or
So
whatever
would you call that
consistently,
luck, or would you just call that like would you just call that consistency but not luck then?
it's a mix
Or
of both.
is it eventually gonna happen? Is that what you're trying to say? It's like it's eventually gonna happen,
It's
or
eventually, if you stream enough, you're eventually going to find that person. You're eventually going to get lucky. So it's kind of weird, but it does make sense. Like if you play Origins enough and do enough restarts, you're going to get that perfect RNG game. If you
right?
stream enough,
So it's
I mean,
not. So you're thinking it's not luck.
I
Is
mean,
that what
you're
you're trying
kind
to
of reducing the luck aspect at that point. The luck is, are you going to get it your first week? Are you going to get it within a few months? Or are you going to get that never? I mean, eventually you'll get it, but
say? Mhm.
the more you stream, the less luck is involved, I guess. The more you stream, more likely you find that one person that's going to be your sugar daddy. If like it's a
Oh,
weird way to look at it, but it does make sense though. It does make sense. But
yeah.
then again, there's those days where you just boot up your stream after not streaming for a few weeks and then you get that lucky person gifting you 50 fucking subs. And that's just how Twitch works. It is what it is, man. That's why
Yeah.
you can't stream with that money mindset. You can't rely on subs for your happiness. You can't rely on donations because you get it one day, the next day they're gone. And you might never see them again, you know? So,
And it probably end out like this topic and probably this video.
mhm,
Uh, you talk about how like your parents like see stuff financially for you to be able to stream. I've been streaming since 2017, and my parents like always supported me when it comes to video games, right?
mhm,
Because it's mostly an outlet. It's mostly an outlet. Like I'm not like addicted to it, stuff like that. It's more of like it was just an outlet.
mhm,
And they're like, if you make money from it, cool. But
mhm.
obviously I'm going through college, so I was always busy. But I wanted to stream on top of that. So it's like I always kept myself busy. It was always at night. That's the reason why I always stream at night.
Yeah.
Is because my logic is like everybody has jobs, or like, I think of like everybody has jobs, schoolwork, but then at nighttime, you're obviously trying to finish it or you're just chilling out. And I'm trying to get those
Mhm.
people that are just like, fuck it. I'm on Twitch. Let's see what happens. 7
Yeah.
p.m. to 12, and that's it.
Mhm.
And I'm Central Time. So I work in different ways. Like, it works for different aspects or time zones. And that's how I went through it. My parents have always supported me through it. And then whenever last year when I was like growing and shit, they're like, yo, it's awesome, comes like that. And I would always tell them my ideas of like what I should be doing for stream, how I should be taking, like, moving away from zombies, stuff like that. Obviously, they have no fucking idea because they're like, they don't use Twitch, right? They have no fucking idea. But they're just more of like, the outside like force or voice to just
Mhm.
like give me logical input or something like that. So it's
Yeah.
probably the best way to end it out. It's just more of like, have fun, fuck it, don't worry about
Yeah.
the money, see what happens, but don't throw everything away for it. Just have fun and do it.
Yeah.
All right. If you see some success, which every streamer has some success somewhat, it
Mhm.
only takes you and sometimes outside forces that you cannot control to basically elaborate and go farther with
Yeah.
it. Like, good example is Cold War. Everybody's like, yo, our game. We got this. Let's go. Big viewership time. I'm grinding it. And then it just didn't work out. It wasn't even your fault either. It was just the game, the
Yeah.
community. It's like, that's just, and that's how I knew I had to jump the ship just
Mhm.
right to the spot. And yeah, probably the best conclusion I can give.
Yeah. It's streaming is difficult. Honestly, it just comes to that. Like, it's very random. You can put in effort, good things will come. You can put in effort,
And get
bad things will
nothing.
come. Yeah, it's just
You get nothing for months on end, and then that one thing, like, is cool, but it's not even that big, right?
mhm.
And, like, you just get something. You're like, "Okay, wow." It's so like, you can put just so much work in and just still get nothing, and people have to learn some people learn that very, like, the hard way, as in, like, they're like, "Yo, I streamed for 6 months and nothing happened." They're like, then maybe that's a sign to just stop. Like, and that's the big thing is just stop streaming, man. I had to say, like, don't waste your time if you're thinking it's a waste of time. Then, like, yeah,
Mhm.
because some people think that, like, I'm gonna just keep streaming, where like you kind of talk about the consistent with like the fucking cash cow people, where it's
Mhm.
like sometimes it's kind of hard to say, like, I'm waiting for that one person where it's like that's so theoretically or logically that's not smart at
Yeah,
all.
it's not.
It's like waiting for the stock market to crash or something to happen where it's like, you got to look into so much other shit than just looking
Mhm.
at one company. You're like, well, I hope to God something happens, right? It's like, nah, you got to. That's why people take other avenues and do smarter things. That's where you learn that what you're doing may not be overall the best thing.
Yeah.
In fact, I've gone through that many of times. Shit, I still go through that even today. Where like, the amount of time that I'm putting in the content, is it worth if nothing's getting out of it? And I'm like, all this shit, just so much, so much.
Yeah, we just got to keep our mind open to change, be willing to try new things, and
Fail.
not, yeah, be open to failure. You're gonna fuck up. It's
I thought
life.
when I was younger that was, like, so cliche. I was like, "No, fail the fuck why fail?" It's like, dude, I hate to say it, you're gonna fail even if, like, you think you're not. Like, life will
Mhm.
just make you fail. Like, something
Yeah.
will just happen. It will literally just make you fail. But, yeah, and it's so fucking true. Goddamn, it's so goddamn true.
Shit happens, man. Shit will always happen, even
Mhm.
to the best of us. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's gonna wrap up today's podcast. So,
Bro, is this gonna be the longest one that you've done? Because this felt long. I think
no.
it's pretty fucking long.
About 2.5 hours, I think it's been.
2.5? Bro, it's 8:30. We started at, like, 5 my time.
Fuck, I don't even know when. Oh, I think it's been maybe like 3 hours almost. The one with Shane was really long. The one with
Okay.
Shane was really long. This might be a bit longer.
Oh
I don't
god.
know. Well, we both know how to fucking talk for a long time.
True.
But I predicted this was how it was gonna go. I know we would have a interesting dynamic, actually be able to carry on conversations, and like it would. That's why I didn't put that many topics. Usually I put way more and go way into
Mhm.
depth on the notes.
Yeah,
But
when
I
I saw those
just
topics, I'm like, "Oh, fuck, that's gonna last forever." Like, god damn, I was like, "Oh, shit, dude." Like, those are
yeah.
some that's why I was like, "Those are some good topics," but, like,
hmm
we're gonna have to start cutting them down, but no, we got them all. We're good.
Yeah. All right, that was a good episode, man. This switch from only zombies to other topics, I like it because I like the content aspect. Like, I love zombies. I could talk about it all day. And if
Mhm.
somebody
I
wants
could
to
probably
come,
too. I could easily probably talk about zombies as well, just, like, in just different aspects, but, like,
Mhm.
how many times can you fucking do that, right? Like,
Yeah.
so you get bored or you wanna move over and try different
Mhm.
shit.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how effective this is going to be. Like, if my zombies audience is going to be interested in listening to discussions about streaming, discussions about social media, college, all that kind of stuff.
I mean,
So,
I do play. I mean, I feel like somebody probably knows me from zombies as well. At least
oh
I'm
yeah.
not like an only like I didn't play zombies, right? Like I'm not just a random fuck that just came out of
Mhm.
nowhere, right? But
Yeah. But yeah,
who knows?
I guess we'll have to see. But I appreciate you coming on, Yoma. Thank you, man. I
No
hope you had a
problem, no
good
problem.
time. But if you guys don't know Yoma, make sure to go check him out. All his links are going to be in the description. We're gonna have his YouTube, his Twitch, his Twitter. Make sure to go check it out. Go drop him a follow. Go in his chat and say "Chat carries stream" because that is the truth, and he cannot handle the truth.
Were you just holding that like this whole fucking time?
The
Jeez,
last message in my chat was Starkiller50187 saying, "Tell Yoma chat carries stream."
that's fucking stupid. Stupid, stupid. That's another. I could go on for hours about that shit, just like
Mhm.
explaining. But no, I won't. We won't hold up anymore. But yo,
Okay.
thank you. Well, thanks for having me, though. I appreciate it.
Of course, man. Definitely got into some interesting discussions. You know, went deep on some shit, and I always love to see it, man.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Thanks everybody once again. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and go check out Yoma. Like I said, his links will be in the description. Thanks guys once again, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.